gamers, and welcome to episode 356 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for May 1st, Dominic. What's going on?
Man, I know we've been off for like 2 weeks, but since then a lot has happened around the world. You know, of course, you know, the Chauvin trial verdict, well, the Chauvin verdict happened, and well, they didn't do the sentencing yet, right?
No, not that I've seen.
No, yeah, they didn't do the sentencing yet, but the verdict, and he got guilty on all counts. So that was good. I was happy for that. Happy for the family to receive, to get the justice that they that deserved for George Floyd. But I mean, this is not. I mean, I know some people see it as a win. It's not a loss, but it's like, yeah, this is great that happened, but does this mean things will be better from now on? Will that mean that we will be treated fairly by the police now, like black people as a whole?
Yes, everything changes now, Dominic.
I don't know, because there's been some shooting since since the verdict happened. So, or while the trial was going on. So it's I'm not that optimistic on that. It's still a lot of work to do, put it like that. But
it's hard to see this as like a complete victory instead of just a step towards hopefully something better.
And that's just it's just a step. And we have steps. It's just that it's so many step backs. Yeah. That's the problem. It's so many step backs that it's just that like one win really doesn't do enough for the whole. Like, this is good for that family. Like, this is that they get that justice. I mean, that they get the justice is good. I do not like what Elizabeth Warren said. Not Elizabeth Warren. Was it Elizabeth Warren?
Did she say something stupid?
Pelosi. Was it Pelosi?
Yeah.
I think it was Pelosi.
The one you showed me was Pelosi.
Yeah. Was Pelosi when she's saying that, like, basically he sacrificed himself.
Yeah. Like, you went off to war for this.
He didn't sacrifice himself. He didn't want to die.
No.
He didn't. This is not the intention. No. It's like, no, it's not a sacrifice. And I think even Raiders went overboard saying we can breathe.
Yeah, that was bad.
That logo. I don't even know they took the tweet down, because that tweet was still on like a day later.
Really?
And the owner said that he's responsible for it. I don't know if he really was, but he took responsibility anyway. As he should.
Definitely.
But it's like, what the hell were you thinking? Like, nobody. It's one thing somebody said that. Nobody in the organization is like, okay, this is not good. This is not good. We should not put this up. I mean, for multiple reasons. One reason is because I think people were having those shirts, "We Can Breathe," while after George Floyd's death. Like, because when people say "we can't breathe," there are people who put shirts that said "we can breathe," or signs. They had signs that said "we can breathe," like people for the police.
Oh yeah, so this thing's still up, Dominic.
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Man, that's weird.
Yeah, but yeah, that was the big news weeks ago, and it's going to probably be big news when they do the sentencing also. But yeah, you know what? Let's get down right into the show. But it's Tom Brady, though. So it's like, he willed his defense. He willed the defense to be great somehow. I guess we get into what we've been watching. So, God, we watched quite a few things together. So I guess I'll go. So I watched this documentary series. Well, two of them. Well, no, I mean, it's one documentary series, but it's 4 episodes. I watched 2 of the episodes. Exterminate the Brutes, which is about white supremacy throughout history, taking over like indigenous people, like in all fashions. I mean, it's all fashions about racism and brutality of the minorities, or just other races, I guess you could say. Because in some cases, it's not really minority thing. It's more of just a power thing. Because they go through the Native Americans, of course, and they go through even things happening, the colonization of Africa. It kind of goes like switches back to different locations in different time periods also. Like they even talk about the British the British Islands, the West Indies, I guess, and how like things that happened there, and also in South America. I mean, it goes all over the place. The extremes of what the powers to be have done to these races throughout history, and it's a pretty good documentary. It's pretty good. So far, like I said, I watched 2 of them, and I think it's all right. I think they're about like an hour a piece. The person who's doing narrating is the guy who created it. He's a filmmaker. He is Haitian, I believe. Yeah, he's from Haiti, and he's done other films. I don't believe I've ever seen him before. But he's the guy who's done the narration on this, and it's all right. I mean, it's a nice documentary.
Okay. Yeah, I'd heard about this from another podcast and was looking at it, thinking about watching it the other day, but I just didn't get to it yet.
No, yeah. I mean, white guilt will it will make you feel guilty, Daniel. So yeah, I was joking. No, that's not what it's about. Like, this ain't what that's about. This is just telling you the history of what's done. I mean, it's this awful history that's been sort of, kind of not really wiped away. It's not really wiped away, but it's kind of looked at like, it's a long time ago. We're better now. But then it kind of show things of today that are happening that, are we? Things are different, but they're still the same, if you get what I mean. Like, some things are still grotesque in other parts of the world. There are horrible genocides that has happened or happening,
right,
in other places of the world. But I think it's something you should check out. Also, I watched Ma Rainey's Black Bottom on Netflix. This is about Ma Rainey. She was a famous black singer. I forgot the time period. I know it's got to be like maybe the 40s, maybe. I saw an old car. I mean, it seems like it's just like, but Viola Davis plays her. Also, Chadwick Boseman plays a trumpet player who's part of her band. It's done like a play. Like, it takes place in this one area. Most of the movie takes place in this one studio, and she's recording a song, and she is like a diva. Like, she is just telling these guys who are white, like what she want. Like, she ain't do it her way. She's like, you do it her way or she leaving. And she explains why she's acting like this and stuff like that. Too, in the movie. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's really done like a play, just like Fences. If you've seen Fences, with Denzel, I think Denzel also is a producer on this movie. That was because I think Fences was a play, and the movie is kind of set like a play. Like the way the dialogue goes, the way they talk and things of that nature. And it's done really well. Chadwick Boseman, he did get nominated for Best Actor for this movie, which I think he got the wrong category. I think he should have been supporting actor, because Viola Davis is the lead actor on this movie. So I don't know. And I think, like, if he would have been supporting actor, he would have won the award. He would have got it. And yeah, the whole Oscar thing is a mess to me. How they do that. Like, it's Oscars. It is politics. It is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I'm not talking about politics like Capitol Hill politics. I mean, you can argue that too. I'm talking about within itself. Yeah. Politics,
because how they wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, because how they do the categories is just ridiculous sometimes. Because how is it that the Black Panther movie, Judas and the Black Priest, he's a supporting actor,
right? Yeah, I was just looking at that because I wanted to see who won to see if, it probably would have beat him.
And because now, here's the thing. I've seen most of the Judas and Black Priest. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Mm.
And there could be an argument that he actually is a supporting actor, but in the main actor is the guy who played Judas. I forgot his name. The guy who played that character, who was the informant.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be an argument. But the problem is, you put him in supporting actor too. So
Weird.
there was no lead actor
Right.
in Judas and the Black Priest. So no, that doesn't make sense. It's like, wait a minute, this don't make sense. Now, I understand some people say they think the guy, Kalua, the guy who played Fred Hampton, should have been the lead because that's the guy they promoted all the time. All the time you see the movie, you saw him most of the time. So I can see that. It's like, okay, they promoted the movie like he's the lead, so maybe he should be the lead in the Oscars too. But if I didn't see none of the promotion and I watched the movie, I can see the argument for him being a supporting actor. But you didn't put the other guy as the lead actor, so that the informant as the lead actor, which now so you basically made it like, what are you doing? You just I think you just did that for one of your guys could win something. Because you knew if you split them up, you weren't going to get probably neither award. You weren't going to get the award for lead actor, and you weren't going to get the award for supporting actor.
Yeah. And
I think Chadwick Boseman should have been supporting actor, and he would have won. He would have won. He would have won an award at least. And it was a little crazy that they had, what is it, NFT logo for him?
Oh my God, that fucking thing. Yeah. That shit was wild.
Well, you're better at this shit with me because I'm not into the Bitcoin shit. What is an NFT? Explain to what the NFT is.
So it stands for non-fungible token, and it, I guess, essentially means a digital good that is in limited quantity. So it represents a physical good in a way. I don't know. It all sounds like some bullshit, to be honest with you. Something related to the blockchain, which is what cryptocurrencies or, like Bitcoin and stuff are related to. I don't know, but it seems like it's like a limited quantity thing. So like if I have this Chadwick Boseman thing, right, and they only made quote unquote 100 of them, then for me to have it, someone else needs to not have it, or vice versa. So if I sell it to you, then I no longer have it as a thing, even though it's a digital good. And realistically, digital goods can be, multiplied in the thousands of times and never actually represent any loss of value, really, because, they can just be replicated over and over again. So it seemed like I don't know if it started out this way, but when I see it referenced a lot, it's in relation to like artists are going in this direction, right? So it's like I created this painting and then you have this NFT that relates to the physical good. So maybe you aren't hanging it in your gallery or something, but you have exclusive rights to, use it on the internet or something like that. I don't know. It sounds just completely messy because like I see some artists being in support of it and, having it as a good way to make money. And then you have people on Twitter that are just like, I made somebody else's tweet into an NFT because there's like no control over who gets to create these things. And now I technically own your thing and it's really weird. And yeah, this Chadwick Boseman one is just on a different level of fucking what are we doing with our fucking society nowadays.
Yeah, it's like, why? Because at first when I saw it, I was thinking like, oh, they made a bus. But then it said NFT. I said, what the hell is that? I said, oh my God. What the fuck? I was like, no. Just say, like, hey, support the family, for the death and things, just bring good remembrance to him. But you don't have to go
Instead, you're weirdly exploiting his image, right? Like, that's what this is.
This is weird. Yeah. Yeah, like you said. Yeah, this is weird. Man. All right, moving on. I still got a couple more shows that I watched. Invincible, I've been watching that. I think I'm about 2 shows behind now. You know, it's gotten better. It's definitely gotten better. Like I said, the animation's not great, but I gotten used to it, and the story is pretty good, and I'm enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying the show. I think it's worth checking out. Like, the first episode was a little slow, or not really slow, but just, it seemed like it was nothing there. It seemed so, like, it wasn't edgy, and it was just like, just superhero shit. And it was just like, no, don't want to watch a cartoon of this. But then it gets good at the end. Okay. And yeah, that's when I was like, okay, this is something. And yeah, it's pretty good. And that's all the shows I watched that you haven't watched. So now we could talk about the Captain America and Winter Soldier, or Falcon Winter Soldier. But yeah, spoiler alert, he does become
yes.
Captain America.
Yes, he does.
So starting off, before we go into deep spoilers, I did enjoy it. I did like the show. I'm trying to think if there was something, because it's been a while since I did try to wait to watch it, because I was like, well, since we're not doing a podcast we didn't do a podcast last week. I was like, I'm not going to remember everything. Right. But I ended up watching it Monday, so now I'm still thinking, like, okay, was it something I didn't like? Was it something I didn't like? I'm not going to get specific yet, but I don't think it was really that much I didn't like. No, I think overall, I enjoyed it. The action was great. Where the story going, I have no idea, but yeah, I'll see. But I mean, I'm curious where it goes from here in Captain America 4, or wherever they somehow continue the story. But yeah, it was good. It was good. So how'd you like it?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think the entire series, each episode was very well balanced. Like, they all had very good actiony bits mixed with very good talky bits, I guess I could say. Things where they explore things a little deeper, whether it be, certain people's characterizations or where they are in the world or things like that. I thought without getting into spoilery stuff, but the twist was, about as twisty as I kind of expected. They kind of lead you down the road of like, okay, this is where this is going to go. And then, you get the payoff at the end. So I'm intrigued by that stuff to see where that's going. This very much seems like they're going to branch out a couple of things off of this, right? And that's kind of what they do with all these Marvel properties at this point. They have so much going on at any given time that they're like, okay, this thing is going to set up these 2 other things, and then this other thing, and then this, that, and the other thing over here, right? So yeah, I very much enjoyed the series overall. I think I had my concerns in the middle of the series, and I think for the most part, they were resolved in a way that I was happy with. Some of the stuff got cleaned up a little too cleanly, in kind of like, all right, we're wrapping up the series, we got to resolve this issue, and they kind of did that in a way that feels maybe a little less than satisfying, but it's also hard to believe it would have went any other way, to be honest with you. But I do wonder what this show would have been had COVID not happened, because allegedly there's like this whole pandemic subplot, which is what like the Flag Smashers were related to, and that's why some of their bits feel a little more chopped up, because they had to remove stuff that related to that, because they didn't want to, go into that stuff during an actual pandemic. So yeah. I'd be interested to see what that bit of it would have been, but overall, I think they hit the mark pretty well. I really, they came back and definitely kind of made good on a lot of the stuff that I would have liked them to make good on. And during the middle of the show, I was maybe wondering if they were actually going to be able to hit as well as they did. And I think overall, I'm very satisfied with it.
All right. So yeah, getting down to spoilers. So how do you feel about Carter being the broker?
I think that's the twist that like is kind of obvious, right? Because outside of her, we didn't see anybody else. And I think we talked about this. Like, we didn't really see anybody else that it could be. And if you just surprise us and say like, hey, this guy's the power broker, it's not going to have any sort of meaning if you don't know who that character is. And I know I saw a lot of people talk about when they released the Shang-Chi trailer that, oh, hey, maybe it's the Mandarin, and that's why they put out the Shang-Chi trailer now, right before this last episode, which I guess we also didn't talk about because that was right before that happened.
Yeah, that was. That looked cool. That looked fun. That looked like a fun Kung Fu movie.
Definitely. Yeah, I like what they're doing with that. And there are definitely touches of that mixed with this. Like, it looks like there's some scenes where they're in Madripoor, which is, again, why like I saw a lot of speculation around when that trailer came out that, hey, maybe that would be the twist, is it's not Sharon Carter, because people are suspecting it is. And, you know, that's kind of the obvious answer to go with. But they're releasing this trailer, so you go, oh, hey, that's the Mandarin that I just saw in the trailer. He's going to be a big player and whatnot. So I think that would have been a cool direction to go in. But I'm glad to see that they're doing something with Sharon now. Like, I very much enjoyed the bits that she was in this show. And I'm happy to see them explore more with her. What her actual like agendas and, you know, how she's puppeteering behind the scenes. I want to see where that goes. Is she really truly a villain now?
Is she in the comics?
I know the character is. I don't know that I'm pretty sure she is not the power broker in the comics. I think that's just kind of a dude that does power broker things. So yeah, but I believe she is a character in the thing. But now sorry.
I was just wondering, now is she going? Yeah, like you said, is she going to be a villain?
Yeah, because now she's gotten back into her spot in S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever this current iteration of S.H.I.E.L.D. is. She's back in America, and now she's on the phone with somebody talking about trading government secrets and whatnot. I saw some speculation that, this could be a Skrull and blah, 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 but I also saw a lot of people dismissing that theory because instead of Skrull transforming, she was using that like face cover thing that she did for the disguise.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, that stuff's cool. The John Walker stuff, I'd be interested to hear your take, because I know you were originally saying like, I don't want them to make me hate him. I want to see more out of him. And it seems like they maybe kind of moved in the direction of making him not the villain and making him a more sympathetic character who maybe has redeemed himself a little bit. So what do you think there?
Yeah, I did like that. Yeah, I did like that he did redeem. Like, I thought he was just going to be straight like, fuck America.
Right.
Or like not fuck America, but like fuck the government anyway. Yeah. Like fuck the government and the hell with them. But no, him coming out to help and to somewhat redeem himself, I was like, oh man, I was scared he was going to die. It's like, oh man, they're going to let him die if at least he died a hero. But no, him surviving. So now I just want to know where they're going to go with this character. So was he an anti-hero in the comic books, or was he just a villain?
So I think he was a little bit of both. I think at some point, and from my understanding of what I've heard people talk about is maybe what they'll do with him is lead into like a Thunderbolts style villains becoming heroes in a way, like almost Suicide Squadish type thing. Okay. Anti-heroes becoming heroes or doing heroic things. I saw a lot of speculation regarding that, like having him and Zemo and a couple of other people kind of on a team, especially with like Julia Louis-Dreyfus basically being the Nick Fury to their like dark Avengers in a way. So I'd be interested in that because he very much seemed, going in the back in the good direction. So is he like the Rick Flag of the team then, where he's not really one of the bad guys, but he's kind of leading the bad guys? Yeah, I was glad that they did. I was definitely glad they didn't just kill him off. And I was intrigued by them kind of reforming that a little bit, because when you think about it, like what really bad thing did he do outside of murder that flag smasher? And
yeah. That guy was a terrorist.
Yeah. So
we're labeling. We're just labeling people.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, and this show is very much about that. But outside of like optics, what was his, what was the thing that actually made him into a bad guy? Like, this dude just killed his best friend and partner. It's not surprising that he maybe went a little bit overboard. The biggest thing I think he did was kind of besmirch the name of Captain America, because Captain America is supposed to be the perfect soldier, right? The guy that doesn't get caught up in his emotions and doesn't, fall for that stuff. And I think that's why it's interesting that you then do get to see Sam as Cap, because he is the personification of Steve in a different way, right? Like, he's not, hey, everything's perfect, sunshines and rainbows and puppies. He's giving you the cold, hard truth, like when he was talking to that senator or whatever he is, that government official, basically like, look, even just people seeing me as a black man in this Captain America suit, that is doing something to people. Some people, that's, making them hate me instantly. Some people, that's giving them hope. But I thought that was a really good message in there. Like, they got a lot of the stuff that I was hoping they would do as far as like him as a black Captain America. They got that stuff in there, especially with him talking to Isaiah and having his history maybe, put on display a little more and acknowledging him as a person. It obviously makes it, that part of it is a little clean in the way that a Disney Marvel movie is going to be. But I do appreciate the fact that they kind of address that stuff, and even subtle things like when Bucky is staying with them and he wakes up and Sam's two nephews are playing with the shield. It's like, I thought that was really nice. Those were really nice moments.
Oh yeah, I love those small moments that they had in the movie. Though, yeah, like, well, when dealing with the cleaning up everything at the end, yeah, it was a little like Isaiah. I mean, I appreciate it. I don't know. I kind of wanted it to be like he respects him, but he said, "I don't still agree" or something like that. I don't know, but. No, it turned out to be a good ending. They made a good ending with that.
Yeah. I thought they did that plot line very well.
Yeah.
They did. That I was surprised that we got to see him as much as we did. I was worried that when they first introduced him, he was going to be kind of a throwaway thing. And the fact that they kept bringing him back and having those conversations, like those were the bits where you get the actual, like, these are the conversations that need to be had kind of stuff. I really like that a lot, especially because on the opposite end, like Carly, it feels like they did kind of just throw that away in a way. Like, they were having some of those conversations about, like, what is right and what is wrong. And then at the end of the day, it was just like, she was just here for this bit of this show and we're going to kill her off.
Yeah, that was, I was kind of hoping she wouldn't die, but I guess she had to die. I mean, they had to make it like she died. Now with Isaiah, yeah, I take that back. I think they did wrap the whole story line with him up. And I like what Sam saying, basically, he understands him. Like, he never said he was wrong.
Right.
He's like, he was wrong to feel what he feel. He said in the position he was in, I mean, just like I said, the position he was in, I mean, you understand why he feels that way.
100%.
You expect it, yeah. But now, yeah, I was moving forward with this, and I did not. My friend did look on IMDb reviews of this, and he said like it's a lot of. He said, I asked, I was like, "What? Is it a lot of people who just don't like it, say it is too PC?" And I'm saying, "Oh hell yeah!" He said, "Hell yeah, there's a lot of that, like is that preaching or something and things of that nature." Then got other people say, they got other people who reviewed and say, "Well, don't say it's like don't listen to those racist reviews." They say it's like this is a real review. And see, that's the thing. I need to find a space where I get people with some genuine opinions. I mean, not that they're not genuine. I mean, they probably are genuine because they don't. But I need opinions that are
they're painfully genuine.
They're just that are not like they don't want to see a black man as Captain America, or they feel like this is pandering.
Right.
Or I mean, if it's a black person who feels that way, I want their opinion on it because that's more. Because then I really could get understanding of why is it pandering. Like, just from a right perspective, or if it's like, oh, they feel like this pandering and this trying to cater to a certain crowd. Mm-hmm. It's like you just want things to just stay the same. It seems like. I mean, that's what it feels like. I mean, just give me what are the reason why you don't like it? Like, is it something about the show is doing? What does it do didn't like it? Like, is the problem really him being a black Captain America? Is that the problem? Like, he just shouldn't be. It shouldn't happen. It's like, what's the real issue here? Like, I mean, the way they did it now. When I first heard that, like in the comics, that Falcon becomes Captain America, I was like, how they did it? It's like, how did they do it? Because did they just give it to him and now he's just it? And then, like, is he just Captain America and, like, the world isn't, they just look at him and accept him or what? It has to be done very well to me, like, to be good. Like, they just did it like the world just accepts him and that's it. I wouldn't like it because I was like, that's not real. I said, what kind of world is this? It's like what? They just accept him for what he is. Or if they did it, I don't know. I mean, they did it. I read a few comics of it. They were okay, but it did deal with, his race, which it makes sense. Like, that's going to be a thing. Mm-hmm. And I think it was done well for this show, dealing with the whole racial issue. It was a little preachy, maybe, but it didn't feel too preachy. I mean, I don't know. It felt just right for me. Yeah. Like, for me, it felt right. It felt like it was done well. Like, I know there are shows that I felt was too preachy. Like, anything done by the guy who did the White House show. What was it called?
Shit. Why am I blanking now? Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
Like he did the news.
West Wing.
Yeah, and he did the newsroom one, right?
The newsroom, yeah. Damn, what's his name? What's his fucking name?
Soderbergh said no.
West Wing. Oh, is your daughter telling us the name?
Yes, she's trying to from the other room.
Yeah. It was, oh my God. And look, this the West thing ain't even showing
Aaron
me.
Sorkin.
Aaron Sorkin, yeah, Aaron Sorkin. Okay. Yeah, Aaron Sorkin, I feel like he is preachy. Like he is all so on the nose.
Yeah,
with
I
the
feel
shit
like
he
you
does.
were telling me that about like the newsroom one with.
The newsroom.
what's her
Oh my
name?
god, it is horrible.
Yeah.
With that, like I had to turn it off, and that's when I was like really a staunch liberal. Like I like everything very liberal, but I was like, good God, man! I said, get off your fucking high horse, Jesus Christ! I was like, dude, you. And then I was thinking, like, who? That's what I was talking to my friend. He said he loved it. I was like, but who is this for? This is for you already believe in this stuff. I like shows done by. Let's forget everybody's name, but the guy who does the practice, and Boston Legal.
Oh,
David E. Kelly.
Yeah,
because now I think he's very liberal, but he does have an opposition that gives some great arguments that will make you think. Like, you won't be, like, I mean, you might choose a side, but you will understand the other side. Mm-hmm. I mean, especially with lawyers, like, they have cases that was like, oh, I can kind of see why this side believes that. And I can really see their point of view. Yeah. So, but back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, I think they really did this well. Like, they did it well, bringing in race. I don't think they were too preachy. It wasn't too much pandering. I don't believe it was. I think it was done probably one of the best ways to do it, for a show that's also intended for children. Also, right. You know, I mean, it like this ain't like rated R where you can really go too deep and things of that nature. And man, or not just rated R, but even really graphic with the content, like to really go deep in it. Because at the end of the day, it is a superhero show. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why it was done. This is probably the best way to do it, to have the fun of a superhero show, but also give a somewhat realistic take on what it would be like if there was a black man in this position as a hero. Even though I still think the whole getting a loan for the boat thing would not have been a problem for him. I still think he would not have that problem.
Right.
All right. So also, we got a lot more to be watching. So we got Mortal Kombat. I'm about to say Mortal Kombat 11. No, but it's Mortal Kombat the movie came out. Yeah. The remake of it. Well, not a remake, but just the
remaster.
Remaster. Just a new movie.
The
new Mortal Kombat movie came out. All right, so Mortal Kombat happened, and this movie, to me, was a bad movie.
Yes,
but it had some scenes and parts of it that were pretty good. Like, there was potential. I see like the potential in this movie that it could have been a good movie. It could have been good. I don't know about great. I mean, it could have been, it may be possible to get great, but just to be decent and good, I thought it had potential to do that. It's like it just missed the boat. I don't know what, like, why the direction they went with some of the takes in this movie. But, you know, I was going to go right into spoilers. How do you feel about the movie?
I agree that it is a bad movie, but I thought it was entertaining. I had a lot of fun with it. I came in with very low expectations and some concerns, and I don't think they necessarily like blew anything out of the water for me, but it ended up being a very enjoyable movie. And the fact that it's only an hour and a half long also helps, because it's very quickly paced. Like it's just like I'm watching a television show or something like that. So it wasn't like disrespectful to my time or anything like that.
Well, see, that's how I see it. Is that if this was just made for television or streaming, like it wasn't released in theaters, mm-hmm. I would say, hey, this is actually a pretty good Mortal Kombat show. This is a nice little Mortal Kombat show. But knowing that it's in theaters, I have a higher expectation of movies. Mm-hmm. So that's why it turns to bad. It's bad because the story, like if it's the overall story, it's fine. It's just how they execute it.
Yeah. It's also so slim. Like, there's so very little story there. It's like, introduce this character, introduce this character, introduce this character, then we get some fighting, and then it's over.
Like, they didn't have to have Cole.
No.
The Cole character, I think that was a bad idea. Like, after seeing this movie, I think, like, there was no reason to have him. Like, everyone keeps saying, my friend, he said, he's the guy who's supposed to be there to help you introduce people who don't know Mortal Kombat into the world. I say, well, you can still use a real character to do that.
Yeah.
I don't.
You can do that with a Johnny Cage. You can do that with a Sonya Blade.
That's the worst fucking take on that.
Okay.
It's like, what? It's like, you have characters to do that. Like you said, Johnny Cage, which I think will be the main one, to do that. Or like you said, Sonya. It can look for them to be weird because they're just normal humans. They don't know about it. Like, Liu Kang's been training for it. Mm-hmm. So he was there, and Kung Lao. But it's like, why didn't they do that? It's like, because now you got Cole, who is just so, he's nothing.
Yeah.
He's really just
so
hollow.
Generic.
Yeah. And then you want to make it like he's the son of Scorpion. So it's like, oh man, yeah, and then he sucks too. Say you have the son of Scorpion and he sucks. It's like, come on, man,
the great grandson or something.
Well, not yeah. I mean, he's not son, but yeah, he's the descendant, I should say, of Scorpion's lineage.
I was really hoping they would just go full on stupid and have him basically like be possessed or transform into Scorpion by the end of the movie. That did not happen, unfortunately. He got some other stupid power of, like, metal skin, bouncy skin. I don't know.
Yeah, my friend said he think that's a take on him because he gets beat up a lot.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
he
absolutely.
Takes a punch.
I get where it's coming from, but it doesn't make it any cooler.
No, it does not at all. It does not. And then how they finish this Goro so fast. I'm thinking that it should have been a scene where Goro, like, they get Goro to go back to the teleport or whatever and teleports back to where he's from. Not have him killed that easily.
Yeah, there are definitely some decisions. Like, it was cool for them to have, like, Nitara and Reiko, or what, a General Reiko, whatever that guy is. Like, characters that existed in those games, but nobody gives a shit about. Like, they were in one game, like 4 or something like that. And to have them get killed very quickly. But to have someone like a Goro or a Cabal, who I thought was pretty excellent in this movie, along with Kano. Kano also. Have them
Kano
killed.
made the movie.
Yeah. It seemed like a weird choice. Now, what I believe is that this is Mortal Kombat and they don't really care. So any of those characters that, especially after they see the reception to those characters, like a Kano or a Cabal, they'll bring them back. They'll find a way. They'll be remnants or reapers or whatever they called them when they were bringing dead people back to life, like with Liu Kang, zombie. They'll do something. They'll just say like, oh, when you die, you go to a different realm and we're bringing them from that realm or something like that. That's where I see that stuff going. Or, I don't know, can Shang-Chi, Quan Chi, or
Quan Chi, yeah.
One of those guys, can they bring people back to life? I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I feel like they'll bring back any of those characters that they really want to. Now, Goro, I can also see the argument for killing him because you can just bring in Maltoro if you really want to do something fancy, or Shiva, or somebody else with similar kind of power and stature. But the weird thing for me is like how much they wasted having Shang Tsung there. Like, he did absolutely nothing.
Hey, Shang Tsung was definitely a waste. Like, he's I mean, he's like one of the big bosses before, Shao Kahn. And yeah, that was a waste. That was
maybe
a total
they're slow
waste.
Playing it. Maybe we need to give him a little more credit. And, in the next movie, that'll be him. And then they'll maybe tease, Shao Kahn or something like that. But yeah, it definitely feels weird to have him there, like, bringing all these people together, but we don't ever actually have a tournament because, like, the whole idea is that the Outworld people are trying to murder the Earth people before they have the tournament, so they don't have to have the tournament. But does that mean that the second movie is just the tournament, maybe, and then we do stuff like that? I don't know. There, like you said, there's potential there, and I maybe think there's more potential there than maybe you saw in it, just because I did have a lot of fun in this movie. Like, at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I want to watch it again instantly. But if somebody said, like, if my wife, who didn't watch it with me, was like, hey, I actually am interested in seeing Mortal Kombat, I'd be like, heck yeah, I'll watch it with you. You know, it's that kind of thing where I'm not gonna opt out of seeing it again, but I'm also not gonna go out of my way to watch this film.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a film. I mean, it's not the worst film ever, but it's like, I mean, I'll wait till the next one. Hopefully everything's better for me.
Yeah.
I mean, Kano was, like I said before, I think he was the best character. He was funny. He
Absolutely.
really made the movie. He made it, yeah, like alive. Like it. He brought life, like, to me, to this movie. And Cabal, his interaction with Kano, and some of his lines, they were great. Like, for a villain, like that type of villain, you know. And I think it is a movie that needs to be, I think it needs to be a little more outrageous.
Definitely wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I think it needs to be a little more over the top. What was it doesn't be too serious. I think certain aspects can be serious. Oh, Raiden was a bad character. I didn't like Raiden. I mean, he was a bad
also
character.
didn't do anything.
I mean, not only because he didn't do anything. It was just that how he was just saying, like, oh, you people, like, oh, this is all we got, and like he wasn't like trying to train them.
Right.
Like, that's not the Raiden we saw playing games.
Yeah.
You know, he was, and I mean, the story of, you know, was starting with 9 when it got really deep in the story. Well, like he would be more trying to get them ready or something. He wouldn't be all pissed off and like messed that, like, because, oh, we ain't got the fighters or something. It's like, what the hell?
I mean, I wonder how much of that was supposed to be him doing that to get them riled up and maybe find their powers or whatever. Like, looking back on it now, it's like, okay, so he let Cole leave because he knew that, you know, something would happen to his family and then he would maybe become superpowered or whatever. That's my, like, generous take on that. Like, I'm gonna,
yeah, I don't think
give
that
them
is
a little
it is
bit.
at all. I really don't. If it wasn't conveyed, well,
yeah.
That was his intent. But yeah, I wish like there's gonna be some serious takes to this movie that, like, with Liu Kang or Scorpion, like, they can be serious, but then other takes can be really out there, you know. It can be crazy. You know, just like I was telling you, probably like Guardians of the Galaxy or the Suicide Squad, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, because this movie doesn't need to be too serious. It definitely don't. But man, I just knew it could be a whole lot more fun. And like I said, I see the potential. Like, for watching it at home, it's fine. Like, it's a fine movie. But if I saw this in theaters, I would have been pissed. I paid money to see this in theaters.
Yeah, there's definitely a value factor there. Like, if I had spent $15 to $30 if my wife did go or something like that and sat there and watched this, I'm like, oh, this is not great.
All right, so that's all for what we've been watching. That was a long one. We gotta watch less stuff next time. All right. Oh no, you didn't.
I was just let it go, Dominic. Just let it go. We'll talk about it next week.
Okay, good.
We'll talk about it next week. I probably won't watch anything this week. So,
all right. So I guess we get to what we've been playing. So, you go ahead first.
I was gonna say I'll ramp in here real quick. Played some Donkey Kong Country because you playing it the other week was making me think about it, and I was like, you know what? I don't know that I've ever actually like beaten that game because I was very young when I was playing that game and was not very good at that game. And it turns out, Dominic, even with age, I am still not great at that game because it definitely took me a lot of using the checkpoint and reloading feature to get through that goddamn minecart level.
Dude, I this cat. So how are you good with the Mario game but not this one? Because this seems easy. Because I get through this game.
I mean, it's not. I'm not dying everywhere in this game, but that minecart level, I don't know. It just has my number, Dominic. I never know when it. A lot of it is like when I'm coming to the end of a ramp, and then they have like the broken down minecart on the next ramp, like right at the beginning. So like trying to clear that, there are way too many times where I don't clear that for some reason. So that's kind of where I fall apart there. But otherwise, I'm doing all right mostly in the regular levels. I'm still at a point where I definitely played these levels when I was younger. It was definitely around the like the foresty area where it changes from like jungle to forest, where I always got caught up as a kid. So I'm into that area now and working my way through more when you see like the vultures spitting out the little fur balls or whatever they're spitting out for whatever reason. You start seeing like the orangutan guys throwing barrels. But I'm having a good time. That game still looks all right, even though it's like very much like, ooh, this was a stylistic choice back in the day. I understand why Miyamoto was angry. He was so angry. But yeah, I'm having a good time with that, and I would love to finish this and then move on to 2 and 3, which I never really spent much time with. I definitely touched them on emulators back in the day, but I never spent a substantial amount of time with them. So, and I've heard they're very good, so I'm excited to get to them if I go that route. And other than that, it was really just I played the first Resident Evil 8 demo, The Village portion that occurred a couple of weeks ago. I didn't get a chance to play the castle stuff. And then tonight, as of our recording, is when they open up the full hour-long thing. I was playing with you watching me. I did beat the demo, I think probably because you were able to kind of direct me in the areas that I should maybe look a little more and didn't get distracted too much just by, kind of glancing around.
Yeah.
It seems all right. I mean, it has a very Resident Evil 4 vibe to it because you're in
Definitely
like this
does.
village and, dealing with these weird European people who just like just making the poorest decisions ever, surprisingly enough. So I'm very much, I want to see what the castle stuff is and the big vampire lady and see how that goes. Cause really, I know a lot of people are down for that, but I don't like the idea of something like continually following me throughout the game. Like that was my least favorite part of playing the 2 remake, which was the Mr. X stuff where he's just constantly a threat and you always have to be looking over your shoulder. And I know that's like, oh yeah, it's a horror game and adds a very horror element to it. But for me, that kind of aspect of like horror and making me uncomfortable does not make me like a game more. It gives a very like timed aspect to the game for me, where it's like I have to complete this in a certain amount of time, otherwise they're going to catch up with me. So, and I don't like that kind of like beat the clock style gameplay. So I'm a little bit concerned about how they're going with that. If it's just like in these moments kind of things, not like the entire game, but between this and this, I can overlook that. Like the Mr. X stuff was mostly that, but it was very much me going, okay, I got to get to this portion of the game where he's no longer going to be following me because I don't feel like dealing with this for the rest of my time. But I think visually it looks good. I'm playing on the base PS4 is where I played that demo, and I thought it looked fine. I wasn't, blown away or anything, but that's to be expected. I'm not playing on a next-gen console yet. I thought feel-wise, it feels fine. I don't think it's up there with like a Doom or anything as far as first-person shooter, but I don't think that's their intention. And it's really just going to be about getting a feel for it, because like there were those werewolf style enemies that we came across, and it felt like it took a lot of bullets to put them down. And in a game where it seems like maybe ammo is going to be sparse, that could be concerning. But that's Resident Evil in a lot of ways.
And I was listening to a pod because I think there were some other weapons too around, like said, like a mine or some traps or something.
I think I did pick up a landmine, but I just didn't end up using it.
Yeah,
I think I did. Yeah, and as you get like more familiar with like the environment that you're in, especially if it's like an open world kind of thing, and you whatever, you get more familiar with it. Okay, this is where I can kind of funnel guys if I get in trouble, and I can lay down a landmine or something like that. That'd be cool. But yeah, I think it's all right. One of these days, I'd still like to play 7, but I always wanted to try it out in VR, even though that seems fucking frightening. And they just never did that on the PC, which sucks. So, what'd you think of what you saw of that demo?
Oh, it looks good. Those are just not games I'm not going to be playing, man.
Yeah,
because I just can't get through them. It looks all right. I'm curious what the story goes with this. But I'm not, actually, that's a lie. I'm not that curious. I just want to watch it just to see scary shit happens. The story is just going to suck anyway.
The story just seems weird because I don't even know who the guy is that I'm playing as. And part of that is because I didn't play 7, but like...
Yeah, he was in 7.
How did he get involved in all of this weird Umbrella shit? And then his wife is
dead now, but then the baby gets taken. It's like, darn, man, you just have such a bad life. What such a horrible life.
Yeah.
But I'm glad people are going to like it. I hope people like it, I should say, because that's not out yet. But yeah, it's not a game for me though. These aren't games that I play. I can't play them, unfortunately. I wish I could. I wish I could get through them, but I just can't. All right, so I guess I get through what I've been playing for the last 2 weeks. So I played some Fall Guys. They are on season whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I think it's now 3 right now because they have 4 coming out.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of new stages because I was playing all new stages when I was playing. There's different modes too. You have a squad. You can squad up with people mode, which I have nobody to squad up with, so I didn't.
Maybe that is for them.
But then they have a mode where it's almost like I don't know, it was weekly or maybe weekly, like some special event mode or something, like something that's going around. Like this one I played was like supposed to be like the best voted levels, and it was one that was almost like neon or nighttime or something, I guess, and it's almost like a race. It's a race, so you have to race through the course, go through the obstacles and everything, and certain how many people, how they do, like certain amount of people can win.
Mm-hmm.
There was one where there was not a fan. It's like the platforms. It's like different platforms at different levels, and you got to keep jumping on each one, and then because they start disappearing, and then you fall to the next one, and then until you get to the bottom one where you die. And I made it to that one. That was like the last stage. I think it was only like 4 stages. I made it to that one, but I died, and I did something. What did I do? How did I die? Did I die just from falling, or no? Actually, no. I don't know if I made it to that one. Now, maybe I just stood and watched that level. There was one level I fucked up because again I didn't read the directions of what you're supposed to do, and I just died quickly, and I was like, oh shit, that's it. That's it. I was like, this is over. And I think I just let it run, and I just watched the next stage play. But yeah, that the game is still, it's still fun. It's a lot of variety now. So now at least I'm not playing the same stages. I can't remember because it's been a while since I played it. Like, what was the other stages I played? But yeah, it's a lot more variety now, and so I'm glad the game is growing. The game is growing. I can't wait till it comes out. It's coming to the Switch, right? But is it coming to Xbox? Did it say it's coming to Xbox
Yes,
One?
it's supposed to come to both, but it's been delayed until we don't know when. It was supposed to come out this summer, and it's
right.
Just been delayed.
I just wonder why. I wonder why. Like
COVID, Dominic, COVID.
No, that's just an excuse. That's an excuse.
COVID vaccines. Daniel. Everybody's got to wait to get their
Texas
vaccine.
is open. They're doing everything big there.
But the good thing there is there's going to be cross-play, they said, at launch for those. So across everything. So the player base should be pretty big around that time.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That'd be nice.
All right, so I also played some more Final Fantasy VII Remake. The scene after you leaves Don Cornero, his house in Wall Market, being his mansion or whatever, and you go through the stores. You know, you're trying to get back to Sector 7 because they're about to drop the plate down. You know, the plate in Midgar. Now, if you don't know Final Fantasy VII, the city of Midgar is made up into a top level and a bottom level. The bottom level is the slums. The top level is normal people. As funny, as bad as that says normal people, I consider normal people. But
the normal people, I guess
the middle class, I guess. The middle class are rich, I guess. Even though, you know what, you never really go there. In the old game, I've never been to the top level, really. I mean, top level to see what they look like. Now,
I just figured it was like Golden Saucer, but like personified there. So you got the news that the plates are about to drop in Sector 7. It's like I believe it's 7. Is it 8 sectors or 7? I think it's 7 sectors. I think it's 7
in Midgar. Yeah, and Sector 7 is where your group stays, really. And they're about to drop the whole plate and just crush the whole section. So all those people down there, and blame it on your terrorist group, Avalanche. So you're trying to hurry up and get there to stop it. So you have to go through the sewers, and then you go to the train graveyard. This is all in the first game. Now, what they changed in this game, they made that train graveyard. Like, it takes time just to get through the sewers. But then you go through the train graveyard, and they really stretched that out.
Really?
It was a lot longer than I wanted it to be. And there's like a little story of these ghost kids.
Oh, weird.
That it just like, I would just not feel there at all. I was like, I would be like, get the fuck out of here, you stupid ghost. I gotta go out here and stop this plane from falling. I don't give a damn about your problems.
Yeah, people who aren't ghosts yet to see.
Yeah, it's like these kids. It's like something in Aerith, she could communicate with them. I was like, goodness gracious. I'm like, Aerith, can you speed it up? Can you ask the ghost kid to please tell us to go? Because we got people to save. But I finally get there to the pillar to help stop the plate from falling. And, like, if you know for the original game, spoiler alert, guys, if you want to know this, just fast forward a little bit. Your group, most of your group dies. You know, Jesse, Reg,
Biggs.
Let's see the guy, Biggs. So the guys from Star Wars.
Yep.
So
Biggs, Littles.
but Jesse, is it? I don't know why they get that name. But anyway, but no, Biggs and Reg is always in games. Jesse, I think they just added for this game. So Jesse and Biggs die. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sadder this time. It's a lot sadder this time. I think they drag it on a little too long with the talk. Like, they could shut up and still be all right. But like I said, the dialogue in this game is not great. And I'm like, okay, this is a nice scene. But then they keep talking. It's like, you fucked it up. You fucked up the moment. There was a touching moment, and you just kept talking. And then Cloud's reaction, like he doesn't know how to. He's like, oh, I have any emotions. I don't know how to deal with them. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Yeah. And then, and Reg doesn't, though. It looks like Reg doesn't really. When he falls, in the game he dies. In this he doesn't. He's just injured.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if he's really dead, even after the plate falls. If he died, because we go into this underground when we go back. Like, you don't go back in the original game. In this game, you leave to go find Marlene, what's his name, Mr. T's daughter, and then you go back to Sector 7 to see if anybody survived. So you see all this rubble and shit, and then you found this underground place, and you see Reg is down there, and you're like, oh, we out Reg, but then something goes wrong, and then you go through another dungeon, basically. And like it's like it's a Shinra lab or something like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they really changed this. They really stretch out the story, and I think some of the stuff that they stretch out is not worth it to me. It's not that great. Like the train graveyard thing, that was not great. I did not like that a section of the game at all. Some things are good. Like me getting to know Biggs, Wiz, and Jesse more does make that scene with them dying definitely mean a lot more. It's like, oh man, this is pretty sad. And also the fight scene with Reno and I forgot the other Turk name. It's Reno and I forgot his name. But that was all right. That was all a cool scene.
Was it Rude? The
Rude,
bald
yes.
one, right?
Rude,
yeah.
Rude, yes, Rude. That was a cool fight. And there was another fight I had. I hate the ghost. It was a boss ghost.
Oh, weird.
In the chain graveyard that because a lot of times when I try to attack it, it's immune, and I don't know what to do. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do then? And I can't dodge anything. And my computer characters aren't dodge, so I have to keep healing them. So I end up putting it on easy at that point. Sometimes I change the game to easy when I just keep dying against a boss. It's like, this is getting frustrating. I'm fucking. And because my other characters, if I'm not controlling them, they're not dodging, and then they're dying. And I was like, I don't know how to stop them from dying. But other than that, I mean, I'm still enjoying it because I'm enjoying it because I want to see what happened. You know, I want to know what they do in this game, like what they add to this game from the original one, because it does looks good. The fight, the battle system is okay. It's not great to me. Like overall, the game is just, it's all right. It's an all right game. It's not great to me or anything. It's not bad or horrible. Mm-hmm. It's more of a curiosity is why I'm playing it, really, just to see where it goes. It's not like I'm like playing through this game, I'm not really excited for the next one. Like I'm not excited for it. I'm just be curious about it, just like this one. But it's not really doesn't bring any excitement to it. Like the game is okay to me. It's not great. All right. So what else have I played? I played a new game for the Xbox anyway. It's been on PC. Second Extinction.
Okay.
Now it's on Game Preview, but it's free with Game Pass. So it is a first-person shooter where you're shooting dinosaurs. So that sounds great already.
Yeah.
It's a co-op shooter. I think it's 3-player co-op.
Okay.
I guess that's the balance now. I guess the balance is 3 players.
Which is so weird.
Like people, I guess
we
4
don't want
players
to make bots, so we're just gonna make it 3 players.
So I think maybe 4 players is like, maybe they feel like, 4-player co-op is too much. I think 3 players is the sweet spot. I don't know. But anyway, you go through the world with your team, or you go by yourself. It's hard. It's harder though if you do that. And it's an open world game. It has different sections that change, I guess, daily, or it changes. Like some sections will be easier than others, and then it'll switch. Like it'll say, is the infestation of dinosaurs big here? The story, I don't really understand the story. I didn't really listen to it. What I get is that this is some planet. I don't know if this is Earth, but some mutated dinosaurs just came to be, and they attack you, and they're all teaming together. So it's not like wildlife with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They're teamed together. Like the Triceratops and the Raptors are working together to kill you.
Oh, no.
I was like, so I don't know. Maybe some alien goo got into them or something. I don't know. But they are mutated because they have different dinosaurs that have different abilities. One that can kind of warp around.
Oh.
Then you have one that can kind of shoot out like poison or something like that, almost like the Dilophosaurus, in Jurassic Park. But it's like a green slime, toxic slime or something. You also have different classes of characters you can be. I choose the heavy. It's a heavy, seem like Jamaican woman who I am, like a Miss Cleo who can carry a chain gun. So, and I mean, it does. She has an accent, so I mean, she's one from those islands. And you also have abilities you can use to help your team. I have one that I can heal the team up, and then I have an ability where I can put down traps that, like a fence, electric fence type of gate thing. Like I put a pole down, the electric fence come, and then the dinosaurs come through. They get shocked, and I can shoot them. And you get other weapons too. Like later on, I think I unlocked the shotgun. That was because the only gap that I had was a minigun and my pistol, whatever it is. And then you level up, you unlock things. It's not a shooter looter though. I can't really say it's that. It's not like you collect a ton of loot. You do collect some, like from the dinosaur. You collect things you can use to craft, like when you go into the menu system, like when you leave out and go to the main menu, like when you want to upgrade your weapons, use the stuff you collected out in the field. But it doesn't feel like a Destiny too much. It's like a cross between Destiny and I'm trying to think something else. Because it's not really an RPG, I mean, even though you do level up, it's not really. It doesn't feel like an MMO. I mean, not MMO or semi MMO, like looter shooter, like Destiny ish. Mm-hmm. It just feels like a more closer to the regular shooter. Just with some of those elements are there, and it's. Like, it can be fun, but I can tell, it's not something that I can stick with unless I'm playing with people. And even then, it's a little bare. It's not a lot of variety to me I haven't seen. I felt like I'd seen mostly everything. I just saw a T-Rex for the first time, and it killed me because I was by myself, and I had no chance in hell.
Yeah.
But a lot of things feel like you're picking up crate packages. Like they give you objectives to go to, like go to this warehouse area, clear it out with dinosaurs, and like collect this crate or like storage container or something, and you're supposed to put these like boosters on so it can shoot up to the sky. So I guess it's going to some spaceship or something, I guess. I don't know. It just shoots up in the sky. And yeah, like you also have this ability where you can shoot down you could bring down equipment. Like if you need something like some boosters to shoot up the crate, you can bring down this equipment. It comes, shoots down from the sky, and I think you can use it to kill dinosaurs doing that. Like it might land on a dinosaur, because I accidentally landed mines with my the guys who I'm playing with, and they just flew out the way. Like they just bam, it just flew. I don't know if it damaged them though, but it did it made them pop. So, oh shit, I didn't realize y'all got into my shit. So, but you can get ammo from that. You can get like I said, the boosters or some other equipment that you might need in the game. You go through other areas objectives, is like go through nests and to shoot out the dinosaur eggs to kill basically commit genocide and just kill them all.
Yeah.
Get the dinosaurs and the younglings, Daniel. You kill the younglings. Yeah. It's cool. I wish there was more variety. There was an area where it seemed like it was snowy, but I was hoping, I don't know, the environment's still, they're a little bland to me. They're a little bland. And what else? It's like okay. Like if you got Game Pass, this is good to try it out. I don't know if I would pay for it. I know it's on Steam, I believe. Yeah, it's on Steam. I wonder how much it costs. It's just, I don't know. I don't feel like there's enough meat on it. But it's a game preview, so maybe they'll be adding, more things to this. More content.
Looks like it's $25 on Steam regularly and $18.74 right now.
Yes. I think that's a good price then. Because it's definitely not a $59.99 type of game.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not that. But it's cool to jump in, shoot some dinosaurs. Now, with the machine gun, I had to turn off. Now, I played it on Xbox and PC. Because it's on Game Pass on PC also. On the Xbox, that machine gun, the vibration. Oh, shit. My Xbox hurt me. So I finally hooked up my Kinect.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Okay, it went away. So the vibration was so strong. I mean, thinking that machine gun, I'm like, good God, can you tone this down a bit? It's like, but they don't have nothing that says to tone it down. They just have it, off or on. So I just turned it off. Cause that thing was rumbling hard. I was scared it was going to break. It's like, oh my shit, my rumble's going to come out my damn controller. So, but on the PC it didn't felt that hard, with the rumble. So I don't know. I don't know what was going on with that. Maybe I should write to them. Maybe it's something they can patch in. Say, can you make the rumble a little steadier? Cause it is not only is it's going hard, it's loud. So it's very distracting. Cause then I'm used then that was my only gun, is a machine gun. So I was like, oh yeah, I gotta turn this off.
Yeah.
But I guess this is the closest thing you're gonna get to a Turok game or a Dino Crisis, I guess. Type of game. All right. So what else have I played? I played some Kaze and the Wild Mask. I finally I picked that game up, that new platformer. The platform I played last year during the Indie Fest game
Xbox
stuff.
Indie, whatever.
Yeah. So this game is so far only played about a few levels, and I think I like to take what my friend said is a cross of. Well, he said a cross of a Mario and Altered Beast. I say it's more maybe closer to a Sonic. I mean, it's not fast like a Sonic, but just kind of environments, or Donkey Kong and Altered Beast, because of you get those masks that gives you abilities, just like in Altered Beast. You turn into those creatures, and you can't just take them off. You can't just take the mask off and then put it back on. It's for that section of the game that you use it for. But no, it's a nice little platformer. It's fun, collectathon. I think you'll like it. You'll definitely like it, Daniel. Did you try it?
Yeah, when back during that stuff, I played it. Yeah, I'd definitely like to play it.
Yeah, it's a fun platformer. I finally got to the one where you can be the bird and fly around, and now I just went back to collect some things because there are stages to unlock if you do collect certain jewels. I think it was just this green jewel or whatever. And it's you need this many to collect. I said, oh crap, we're going Mario route with this shit. No man, with the stars. And let me go back here and collect it then. But I like the game. It's definitely it is fun. It is fun. Kaze and the Wild Man. So I think you should try it out. Is it on Switch?
I was just thinking that. I feel like it has to be, but
I think it's 30 bones too. Yeah. I think my friend was looking it up and he was like, "Oh, $30?" I was like, "Oh." I mean,
it's $30 on the Switch right now.
I'm not going to say it's not worth it.
$20 on the PC though, because Switch. Freaking Switch.
And it's $30 on the Xbox because my friend was looking up there.
Oh, okay.
So the consoles is a premium because of reasons. But yeah, so you can get it on the PC, get on the PC. I'm not going to say it's not worth it though.
It's even on Google Stadia, Dominic.
For how much? $30?
It is. Oh, well, it's a pre-order, but yeah, it's $30.
Yeah.
Is it a pre-order? No, I can buy it now. Okay, so yeah, still $30 though.
All right. So what else? I played something else because I was looking at something else here. Okay, Pac-Man 99. I did play that a few weeks ago. I was going to talk about it last week. That game is fun. I don't know the rules because they don't have a tutorial.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm doing. Like as far as they got those buttons, I think, just like in Tetris and Mario 99, like, hey, do you want to attack this type of person? Like, it has, I'm trying to think what it is. It says speed, level. It had different things. And I don't know. I don't understand. Like, is my ghost going to the guy who's the fastest? Or is that what that means?
Yeah, it's weird.
Or if I mess up their speed, what is going on with that? I don't understand. But I just said I'm just gonna play Pac-Man and just say I hope I just win.
Yeah.
So
I think in this one there are two different like settings. Like you have your stuff, so maybe speed is like if you get a power up, you can go faster, and then there's like the normal Tetris-y ones where it's like top player close to elimination kind of thing.
Oh, so that's mine's. Oh, I
think that's what it is. Because I tried playing this. I remember now. I tried playing it, but I started like 3 games and it kicked me out like before I even moved in most cases. I don't know what was going on with the servers that day or my internet that day or whatever was happening.
Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, because I haven't had trouble with the servers. But I played quite a few games, maybe like 10 total, and probably over to that. Because I played for more than, I played that last week, and I played a little bit this week too. So yeah, the game, I mean, it's fun. It's Pac-Man. So I did just, it was the reason I just enjoyed it. And I think the highest place I got was in the 20s, I think. That's the highest I got. Because it gets to a point where, 50 players left, and then things start going crazy. But then I didn't know, because there's some, like, some other Pac-Man on your board sometimes. Mm-hmm. And they slow you down. Like, if you go through them, they slow you down. And I guess that's like a way to mess you up. I don't know if the players are doing that or that's just a stage. But
I think the players are doing that.
So then, well, why do you think that?
Because I believe I saw that as part of one of the things I was watching about it.
Oh, okay. And so, but then there's one where it's like a red Pac-Man, and I didn't know it could hurt me. I didn't know what it was going to do to me. I just tried to go through it, and I died. I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to know that was the bad one? I thought it was just something maybe might slow me down or something, but I didn't know it was going to kill me. I would have avoided it. So, yeah, that's the only thing. It's like they don't really tell you how to play this game, which I think that's pretty bad. But also, that's just the base game. There's a full game because you get more stages. Also, you other games. I didn't look at them though because you had to pay for it. So the one that's free-ish, that's free with the online service, is just Pac-Man 99, and they'll show you the other stuff you can get. They got it so that you can buy different stages, like different borders. Like your stage can look different. Let me see. Skins, I guess, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. They have different skins for your stages, too, that you can buy, little microtransactions like that. I'm sure. I think Tetris got that, too, but I never looked at Tetris that much.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry.
So, but yeah. Pac-Man 99, yeah, it's a fun game. I mean, if you got the online services, just check it out, man. That's. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know to understand the rules. But it's if you like Pac-Man,
if they ever let me play it, Dominic.
Okay. And last but not least, I played some more. I say some more because I did play it before. But Zombie Army 4, I played it on the Xbox. It's on Game Pass, and I played it on both on the Xbox and the PC. It was really well on the PC, like whole lot better. So I just stayed with the PC, and yeah, it scratches that itch. It's just like the game that just came out, Outriders. It scratches that shooter itch for me. Okay. Like just mowing down a whole bunch of zombies, third person action, and also have it. Wait a minute, I talked about this last week, didn't I? Yeah, so I did.
Yeah,
I was right. Okay, I did play some more. Okay, it's not last week, but 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right. So now I play some more of the campaign. Okay, so I play some more of the campaign, and I forgot where I'm at. Maybe somewhere in Italy. It looks like we're going through the canals there. And so, and zombies, we gotta keep stopping and gotta get fuel or do something to make the ship go. Then, of course, get a bunch of zombies coming at you, Nazi zombies. And just mowing them down there. It's fun as hell. I haven't played with people yet, which I'm going to probably do next time. Because it's definitely getting harder for me to get through this shit by myself. But it's fun. Like, if you like third-person action games, shooters, a la Gears, or things of that nature, this is up your alley. Like, this, Outriders, yeah, they scratch the itch. Like, and Outriders, I did play a little bit more last night of that game. Played with people, and it's just fun as hell playing Outriders, man. Like, that game is fun. That's actually an alright game. Like, this, as of right now, is my favorite as far as those looter shooters.
Nice.
What's in Destiny. It's something about the game that the guns feel great. Now, the story, like I said, I was interested in it. Now, it's not as great. But then again, I gotta blame the people I play with too, because they always want to skip the cutscenes and they're not letting me stay to watch. Well, I can, but I feel bad. It's like they want to skip, but I want to watch. But I think one cutscene I didn't skip because I was like, I really want to hear what this guy saying right now. So I was like, yeah, fucking have to wait. Say this was this game is for. It's like we gotta watch these cutscenes, all right? But luckily nobody sent me nothing angry to say, hey, hurry up and skip it. But yeah, the weight of the guns and Outriders, they feel good. I mean, it feels good playing this game, and it's just I'm trying to think of like what makes it so much better than Destiny for me. I think Destiny is just harder to get into, especially now. Like, it's just because now they keep changing the game now, because now they took out certain worlds because their servers, I guess they don't want to hold all those worlds with different people in there and keep it focused. And it's just, I don't know. It's just easy to jump into Outriders for some reason than Destiny. Maybe I had a better experience in Destiny. Maybe we were playing with people. I can get into it. But it's a lot of things locked into, especially the, what is it called? The Destiny where you have the big events, like we had to have people there. Not the big events.
Not the raids.
The raids, yeah. The raids, yeah. Yeah, I think the raids, that was horrible because you couldn't do matchmaking for raids, which I think that was a bad idea. Like, I was like, I don't have a group, man, that big. You need to help me out here. Mm-hmm. So, but this game, yeah, it's it scratches that third-person shooter itch for me. And plus it being free with Game Pass, I mean, that definitely helps. That helps this game out a lot. Because I would never give this game a chance if I didn't have a Game Pass. I would just thought about Destiny and Division and be like, I don't know if I'm going to jump in this one. I'm not going to like pay for this one. I don't really know much about it or anything. And if I was, I'm just going to stick with Destiny because I got that with Game Pass. So, and Destiny's free. And like technically Destiny's free. It's free to play. Right. So I was like, I'll just play that game. Oh, yeah. I also, God, it's been 2 weeks. All these fucking games. Good God, this is a long segment before we get to the flashback segment.
Yes, it is.
All right. So, MLB The Show. I did play that. That is on Game Pass. And, man, I do have a lot to say for this. So, MLB The Show 21. The game itself, like just the gameplay wise, it's fine to me. It's a great baseball game. As far as features go, it feels like they're taking a step back. Well, not really a step back. It's like they're changing things. They're really turning into what 2K and Madden is now. Of really trying to force you to play the multiplayer. Like, really trying to get you into playing the multiplayer, I should say. Mm. Like, they really... Because now, you're my player. in the show is connected to your player for the Diamond Dynasty. And I don't know. I mean, I know why they probably did it. I mean, this is what 2K did. 2K is your my player is the player you use for the multiplayer on the court stuff. Now, man, I don't know because they don't really have a my player. But they just fucked up. What Madden did was that they just fucked up the franchise mode so bad that they'd be like, well, you just, play our multiplayer. That's where we make all the best stuff. That is the card packs, my Ultimate Team. But anyway, also, they changed the way you get XP and stubs. Stubs is their currency. They made it so that if you are playing a franchise mode or my player, and you change the sliders. Now, sliders is where you can change the difficulty, not only the difficulty, but how specifically the difficulty of certain aspects of the game. Like, this is in all sports games. Like, if you, in baseball, you can make it so that, hey, the human player will have, you can move the slider to make your power at bats a whole lot better and stronger. Or your contact. Or your pitching. You can make specific things just easier or harder. If you change anything in the sliders, you will not get any XP or stubs. Now, that might not sound like a big deal, because it's like, hey, I don't play multiplayer anyway, so I don't care about getting that stuff. But, like I said before, in the older games, like 2017, MLB The Show, all that stuff extra for my player, like your shoes, your bat, equipment, different equipment, also the sounds on the field, like not the sounds, but the announcers, what the announcers will say, like when you hit a home run, like the special things announcers say when you hit a home run, that's all locked behind cards, and the only way to get cards is to get experience and stubs. So if you change your slots, you're not going to be getting them, and then you can't get that extra stuff. So it's like, you're really tying all this stuff together, and like, you just made it worse. And just like people were complaining, I looked at forums, people were complaining like, all I play is franchise and my player, or I just play my Road to the Show. That's what it's called. That my player is Road to the Show. All I play is Road to the Show or franchise. Which is me. That's me too.
Right.
And for you to lock me out for playing it my way, because some people put their sliders to actually make it more realistic. Like, there's people who go through these algorithms, man, on this shit to say, hey, this is probably the most realistic sliders to make it like a realistic game of baseball. And people like to do that. Like, I used to do that for franchise mode. But if I do that, I'm not going to get anything. And it sucks. So it's like I had to play on their regular default sliders to get stuff. Which I'm not doing that for franchise mode. Franchise mode, I said, fuck it. I'm just going to play it the way I want to play it. My player is where I'll leave it as default. Because I want to get new equipment. I want to get new cleats. Because they bring you attributes also. And also you have something that's new that wasn't in the game 2 years ago. A loadout where you can get the special the special tokens or whatever they are that has specific attributes towards, gives you specific attributes towards like your batting or your pitching or your fielding. So, and the only way to get them is through experience also. So I'm like, oh, they fucked me. So I can't put the sliders where I want it to be, to make things just my experience. Cause it's like, this is my experience, but you're making it that I have to play it your way. You're not making it so easy for me to play it my way. Or if I can play it my way, but I won't get none of the items that I want to get. Now, like I said before, the good thing about this is that you don't have to rely on the card packs to get items, because you're getting random items. So it's like, I'm not going to get the items I want most of the time, because I don't care about the player cards, because I don't play online. All I care about is the item cards. You can just save up, you can sell those cards and get stubs for them and use the stubs to go on the auction marketplace, community marketplace they call it, where people are selling stuff, selling things, so you can just buy individually. But sometimes people aren't selling things. Like, plus I'm early in the game, so not everything is on that marketplace. So some items I can't just buy. And then for other reasons, I don't know, I can't sell, because I think you only can sell if somebody's trying to buy it. I don't know how the marketplace really works. Because when I hit sell to sell something, it says, you can't sell this right now. Or you have no buyers right now. I was thinking like, oh man, really? Can I just sell it to you? Because I don't want it? Like, can I just exchange all my cards for stubs? That's what I'm saying. Like, just give me that option. Like, that I don't want these cards. I'm not going to play Diamond Dynasty. I never touched Diamond Dynasty. I don't want to touch it. That's not what I played this game for. But yeah, they're going hard with this. And another thing is that this game runs pretty bad on the base Xbox. On the base Xbox, it runs pretty bad. It runs better on my base PS4. I mean, 2020, what I had, 2019. The last one I had was 2019. That run better than what this ran. And there isn't an excuse for me for that, because 2K runs great on the base Xbox. It runs great. It runs, what I read, it says 60 frames per second. It runs smooth. I never had it stutter on me or anything like that. Like, this is running, I don't even know if it's 30 frames. It's not consistently. Put it like that.
That's rough.
It's not consistently. It's yeah, man. I'm like, what the hell? Why is this game not running so great? Because it's not graphically. It's not a powerhouse. This game looks the same as 2019, the last game I played, and 2019 looked the same as 2017. So this game has not changed much as far as visuals. Now, I do like that I did see somebody eating a pretzel in the stands. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
That's what you've been asking for years, Dominic.
Yeah, but the problem is that when the person set the pretzel down, it looked like it got stuck on something, and it clicked on something. So I was like, oh. They say, well, they're getting there. They're getting there. But other than that, I mean, I still like the game itself. I mean, it's baseball. I mean, I always liked the MLB The Show. But it has its problems. Like, the problem is really the features. Like, playing the game is fine. I mean, except for that, I wish it ran a little bit better. But, yeah, the features, wish they could do a little bit more. It looks like they're doing a lot more with the Road to the Show, though. Because now they make it so that you can do two-way players now. Now you can be a pitcher and a batter. Oh, okay. Which, like, because I always wanted to do that. I was like, hey, I want to be a pitcher and a batter. I want to be like, hey, because people don't do that anymore. I mean, the last guy we got now is Shohei Ohtani. And we'll see how he goes, because he's still early in his career. I mean, he's been okay so far, but we'll see. But, like Babe Ruth, that's the only guy I can really think about, because it's so hard. Like they say, it's so hard to specialize in pitching and batting. It takes so much of a person to really get great in each position. But now they got that, and then they got a little podcast show that comes on every now and then between your games that talks about you, about this experiment that this team is doing. So, they're doing this guy who's doing being a pitcher and a hitter, or can this guy make it, and blah blah blah. That's cool features they're adding. I like that. I see a future where they really can go all out and kind of do what 2K's done. I think that's it, because everything else it's okay. I still don't like they don't say my last name. They can't say Stallworth. No, I just put Armstrong, my mom's maiden name. I was like, God darn, you can't do Stallworth. Maybe else can do Stallworth. They do Stallworth in basketball. And I don't even know a Stallworth in basketball. All right. So, yeah, that's it for what I've been playing. So I guess we'll take a break. And you know what? I'm going to take a break from the Flash. Well, you know what? No, I'm going to just say one. Let me see. We're going to have a flashback segment, but it's going to be very short. I'm not going to say most of these games because they're not really important. I'm going to say a couple of them and to make it quick.
All right.
So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're flashbacking to the last couple weeks of April. Because we're into a new month. I'll do covers next week because this is a long podcast because we've been gone for 2 weeks. So I'm not even gonna say all the games that came out. It wasn't really a lot. I'll say one of these. In 2000, we're going back 10 years, 2011, we had Man vs. Wild video game. What the hell did you do in this game?
Are you Bear Grylls? Yep, you Bear Grylls.
Yeah,
you're surviving, Dominic. That's what you're doing. You're surviving.
I wish it was a man versus food game.
That's what I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want a man versus food life, Dominic. God.
Oh yeah, rest in peace to him too.
Wait, what?
Oh no, that's a different guy. Who's the other guy who eats every? Okay, it was a guy who eats.
Oh, Anthony
food.
Bourdain.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's who I'm thinking. You're thinking of.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So yeah, I don't see I'm trying to see the rating here of this game. It
doesn't look great. 4.5 out of 10 from Gameplay Today. Game Zone gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
These are places I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know none of these guys.
IGN unfortunately did not review it.
Okay, so basically, yeah, people say, "Oh, this shit ain't worth it." It might be a great game though. Maybe it was a great game. Maybe it would have been Game of the Year.
You pretend to climb up a mountain with your Wii nunchuck.
All right, yeah, this came on PS3, Wii, and Xbox 360. Another game that came out was Outland. Outland came out. Did you? I played a demo of this game. This was
the colorful Metroidvania.
Yes. Yeah,
I played the demo of it, but I don't think I ever played any more of that. It seemed really cool.
It did seem really cool. I played the demo too, and I was hoping you would get it or something. And no, this is a time when we weren't sharing, so it wouldn't matter if you got it. It wouldn't matter. Yeah, I just played the demo of it. It did seem fun, but I never played the full game. But I think it got rated pretty good. I think I got rated all right. Let me see here. Yeah, it got like an 84 on Metacritic for the Xbox, and 79 on the PC, and 83 on the PS3. Yeah.
I wonder why it got lower on the PC. Higher standards, Dominic. Higher standards.
Yeah, they got high standards there. There you go. PC Gamer brought it down. PC Gamer Magazine brought that score down. It was actually a decent score.
Elitists.
All right. So what else we got here? Okay, I'm trying to see other ones before I say the big one here. I already mentioned Portal 2. I don't know why I got up here again. Or did I? No, maybe it was the magazine I mentioned Portal 2.
Yeah, because I thought we had talked about it.
Yeah, maybe it's the magazine cover we talked about it. Well, Portal 2 came out.
But I know it definitely came out this week because it came out the same week as the other thing we're going to talk about.
And Portal 2 was a great game. You loved it. I didn't play it. I think that is it. So the big game, the big game that did come out this week, these last 2 weeks of April, was Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 9, to be precise. Came out 10 years ago on 360 PS3. So darn, it made it in time for the movie. I mean, the movie made it in time for this anniversary of Mortal Kombat.
I wonder if that's why they pushed it a week, because it came out that same week that it would have been down the same time.
That'd been weird they did that. Whatever. But anyway, Mortal Kombat 9, great game, got me back into the series. Like it made me fall in love with the series and fall in love with NetherRealm, and maybe they're like my favorite fighting games. Like because they do great story, and the fighting's great. The fatalities are awesome, and it's easy to learn game that I can pull off the moves. So yeah, you got anything you want to say?
Yeah, it was incredible when it came out. It was returning to, what those games were to me, because there was a while there where they were the 3D ones, and some of those I liked when they added the weapons and whatnot, but really going back to the classic 2D plane and going that route. It was so awesome. And like you said, the story mode was cool. Like seeing them actually having a story for these characters that I never really knew about. Like I watched the cartoon back in the day, but that stuff didn't really explore it in the way that they talk about it now, where it's like, oh, you know, Scorpion was this ninja and Sub-Zero was this ninja with the Lin Kuei, and they were competing factions. And like, I never knew back in the day that Scorpion was the good guy and Sub-Zero was the bad guy. They were just all cool ninjas to me.
I think that's what my friend said. Well, he knew more about the story. Like, I didn't read. Well, first of all, I didn't have Mortal Kombat. I didn't have that game. I borrowed it though. I did borrow it. But I didn't read the book about. Sometimes I used to read the book, but I didn't put nothing into memory. Like, what's the story of these guys? You know, the little manual you get. So I didn't leave the game on pause screen, because if you did, they will say like they will tell you each character and some of their history. So I knew nothing about these guys. I didn't know who these guys were. I didn't know there was a bad guy or a good guy. I just thought they were just guys who just killing each other.
Exactly.
So my friend did. He said how everybody was like loved Scorpion. He said he always loved Sub-Zero. He always thought Scorpion was the bad guy too.
Yeah, that's how it was to me. I was like, I like Sub-Zero. This Scorpion guy's a loser.
That's what. So this really got me into the story, and I know my friend was all interested. Yeah, this is the joke. I said, I don't know that shit. Stop being a nerd. Shut up. And so I say, it's like I can't give a damn about the story. Just get over here. You know, that's all I knew. And whatever the movie was, that movie, that's all I knew about them too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really did. It really fleshed it out. It really fleshed out that whole universe, big time.
And had so many characters too, like so many of the characters that you loved from the old games.
Yeah, I just love how they implemented that. I kind of want to play 9 again. This is story, just to see the story again, because just going through that was great, and it was also cheesy, but a good cheese type of cheesy. You know, exactly. Yeah, it's like I loved it how outrageous it was. All right. So that is it for the flashback segment. I don't have anything do I have anything to mention for 2001? Not really. 2001 Spider-Man came out for the Dreamcast though, but it's already been out.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Cookies and Cream. I heard about this game.
What? Yeah. That was a game I always wanted to play. I always watched it on G4 TV or whatever.
Yo, you be loving these corny games, man. Why you love corny games?
That shit is awesome. You got to watch it. I know this cover art looks fucking terrible.
I remember reading the magazine, and I think I got a decent score, but I was like, I'm not going to get no game called Cookies and Cream unless I'm eating it. Unless I can eat it. It's just, that's all that's really came out.
Yeah.
For 2 years ago. 20 years ago. So
I do want to just say that 2011, this week, or the week that Mortal Kombat and Portal released, was also the week that PlayStation Network got hacked and was down for like a month. Oh. And that was a significant time in gaming.
Yeah, it was.
It was rough. And it also, you didn't mention it, but SOCOM came out that week, and basically that killed the franchise because nobody played that one and they never made a SOCOM ever again. And it also killed like the Steam implementation the PlayStation implementation of Steam, because that launched alongside Portal 2. And
that's the only game.
Like, all that stuff happened, and then they never did anything else. So I just want to bring
Conduit 2. The Conduit 2 did come out for the Wii 10 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah, that was supposed to be like, the great first-person shooter for the Wii.
Yeah, they finally nailed it.
They got a sequel. But, yeah. All right, so I guess we'll take a break, and when we get back, we'll get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. Now we're getting to the gaming news. So what we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. So Resident Evil 8, we're looking at the next set of demo coming up this week, beginning tonight, actually, at, I think, 8 Eastern, as the previous ones have. But this time, they're not fucking around and just making this a 24-hour window like they originally were which is just fucking absurd. I mean, those 8-hour windows were even worse, but whatever. But they are actually going to make it for a full week. They're running this demo from May 1st to May 9th, which is awesome, except for the fact that you can still only play 1 hour of it. So that's kind of bullshit. But at least like for us with multiple consoles, if we wanted to, we could download, like, we can do it on the PlayStation. We can do it on the Xbox. I could get like 2 to 3 if they have a PC thing, 2 hours of, content out of this.
Yeah.
Gets stepped on by the large vampire lady, as everybody talks about, multiple times. So I'm glad they did this and opened it up a lot more, because I was listening to one podcast and the guy was talking about how he thought it was so cool that they were doing like this 8-hour window, and I'm like, what? Who the fuck
How old is that guy?
You? He's our age, but he also doesn't have, I don't know, he's got a real job, but he's not in the game's press anymore, but it's whatever. Anyway, I don't want to call him out specifically, but the idea that, like, that's a cool concept, that you're limiting the amount of time that someone can try this thing out, is so stupid to me. Like, it's such a gimmick and a novelty. Like, oh, it's Resident Evil 8, so we're doing it for 8 hours, and now we're going to do it for 8 days. Well, at least when you do it for 8 days, it gives people somewhat of a chance to try it out. But 8 hours, beginning at fucking 8 o'clock at night for people on the East Coast, like, that's just such trash.
It is. It's just, yeah, it is trash. And
yeah,
I don't know. Just give us a fucking demo. Let's put a demo out there, damn it.
Yeah. And also don't make it limited to an hour, or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That also really sucks. Like, let me explore a little bit. Like, give me a limited area, but let me explore. Come on. Or at least let me play. If you want to limit the demo to 30 minutes, let it be 30 minutes every time you play it. So you start at the beginning, you have 30 minutes to do whatever you want. So, oh, I'm going to go in this direction this time. I'm going to go in this direction this time. Like, give me options. I want to play your game. But it's just, these companies, Dominic. These fucking companies.
I don't know, man. I fucking hate it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Pissing us off. Somewhat tangentially related, Resident Evil or RE-verse, the like multiplayer aspect that they were adding to Resident Evil 8, is no longer going to be launching alongside of it. It is now going to be delayed into summer of 2021. So we'll see when that comes out. It didn't seem like there was very much interest in that.
I didn't hear much from people either.
And what's so weird about it, though, is they have the mercenary stuff in Resident Evil 8, too. So, like, why have both? I mean, it makes sense to have, at least now you have one of these coming out at a different time, but I don't understand why you
is this free
decided
to play?
To have two. Yeah, I believe the idea, well, I don't know if it's free to play. I think it was a pack-in basically with Resident Evil 8.
Oh, but Mercenaries is part of Resident Evil 8 too.
Right. So maybe I was just misunderstanding and RE-verse was not, part of it. Let's see. Free to play. Yeah, free with Resident Evil Village is RE-verse. So I once they started talking about the mercenary stuff, I'm much didn't understand.
You just confused me because now I'm thinking RE-verse was just all that shit. But now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, because RE-verse was like you saw all the Resident Evil characters, right? And it's like the cell shaded thing, right?
Yep.
And so oh man. So there's a Mercenaries with 8. So RE-verse is actually like a separate game that's with 8 though. But Mercenaries is actually in 8. Is that what it is?
They're yes and no. I don't know if you can purchase RE-verse separate from, because it says, okay, so I'm on their website. Free with Resident Evil Village, ! Receive Resident Evil Reverse. The new title celebrating 25 years of Resident Evil for free when you purchase Resident Evil Village. If you purchase the Village on PS5, then the version of RE-verse you'll get will be for PS4. And if you purchase for Xbox Series X, blah, blah, blah. Online only multiplayer title, requires PlayStation Plus. Yeah, product codes are included with physical version of Resident Evil Village. If you purchase the digital code, content can be downloaded from the online store the game was purchased from. Product codes will not become invalid. Yeah, so I'm not seeing that there's any other way that you can purchase it, like outside of, hey, I just want to play RE-verse. I don't want to buy Resident Evil because I'm not a fan of Resident Evil. I just want to celebrate 25 years of Resident Evil. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's what confused me about when they started talking about the mercenaries stuff, is like, why you've already got a multiplayer thing. Why are you doing that? But is mercenary, now I'm thinking about it, like, is mercenaries even really a multiplayer thing so much as just like a different gameplay mode? Because like in 4 it was basically like it was Horde, but it was with one player. So is the new one, yeah, so there's more. Okay, so I was right to be confused originally. Like, why are they doing this? I mean, this comes as no surprise to me, because why would you put RE-verse out at the same time as launching the game that you already have added multiplayer to?
Yeah, because you're splitting up the base.
Exactly. And especially when there's no real hype behind RE-verse, like you're basically putting it out to pasture, just putting it out to die, especially if you put it up against something that, I don't know, to me at least looks a little more interesting. I mean, I guess it's just two different types of gameplay, right? Like RE-verse is more like deathmatch thing, whereas this is like Horde mode, kind of like you and more co-op, I guess.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, you're just splitting up the base who is mostly there for a single player Resident Evil game. So you're probably not even getting that large an audience playing the multiplayer aspect of this. This is just Capcom making bad decisions, Dominic. I mean, in this case, I guess it's a good decision that they delayed it, but they started out with a bad decision and they're now trying to make it better, I guess. So that's a weird one. I guess we'll see how that works out for them. In some other multiplayer news, Dominic, Among Us is coming to the PS4 and PS5.
Yeah.
And along with it, they're coming with some Ratchet and Clank attire. Looks like some Ratchet ears you can add, and then maybe like a Clank pet that follows behind you or something like that. Yeah.
So you can have pets follow you in that game? That's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen other things that they were like not selling, but came as like a bonus for maybe another console or something. Definitely had a Mario following me around or something. So that's cool. Among Us coming to more things. I don't think there's cross platform that's been talked about really, but that is a game
I can't see no Ratchet in my Xbox One.
I feel like they've got to get there, right? Like that game is such a phenomenon and so big, that splitting your audience like that is only hurting you. So if they can get that into crossplay status, then everybody wins, I think, So hopefully we'll get to that point and you'll be able to see Among Us guys with Jeff Keighley heads and Master Chief helmets or something in your PlayStation version. I guess we'll see how that goes. Another one we got here, Dominic. We got an update on Mario Party. Oddly enough, the Switch game that came out, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago at this point, maybe? They are adding online multiplayer. So all our complaints have been heard, Dominic. They're giving you the ability to play versus randoms on the internet.
Yeah, God, it took them forever. It's ridiculous.
I mean, the fact that they actually did at this point is incredible to me. It's Nintendo of all people. You know, so that's pretty cool. I mean, especially if you've got that game and you're like, oh man, it's COVID hit and I can't go to the park and play with my friends anymore, or rooftop parties like they show in all those Switch commercials. You know, I mean, I guess outside maybe you can do because you know they're lax in regulations.
Mario Party, like it should have been online when the Wii happened.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous that this game is still.
This is Nintendo we're talking about here, Dominic. This is Nintendo. So, yeah, I'm just glad that they're doing that. That gives me hope that Nintendo is maybe moving in a somewhat right direction. So, I guess we'll.
Yeah, this gives me hope that, like a game like how Mario 3D World. Mm-hmm. And Mario, what was the other one called? That re-released one?
The new
2D one?
Super Mario Luigi
that they
Brothers.
will implement them with, well, not that one, but at least in the future, they'll have online multiplayer.
Yeah.
With those.
That'd definitely be nice. Continue that support.
Well, if they did that with Mario Party, they can do it.
Yeah,
especially the Mario 3D World. If they say, hey, y'all can play, you can play online together.
Yeah, and it sounds like they're doing that with Mario Golf, so I'm hoping Nintendo's getting more serious about their online stuff. Like, it's been far too long now since the original Xbox when Microsoft really made online a defining thing in gaming, and you know, here we are, Nintendo, with a portable console of all things. Like, we live in a day and age where, like, I can leave the house and still have access to everything as if I was sitting at a computer with my phone. Like, how do we not have a Switch? How is it not regular for me to be able to, like, hotspot to my phone and just play a game while I'm on the go, outside of the fact that I can't leave my house right now because of COVID?
Yeah, and they have games. Listen, Nintendo has put games out on the phone. So obviously, they know that that's how people interact. It's like online, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, why is it so slow for them? That's what I want to know. Why is it so slow for them in certain aspects? Like, they put Smash online.
Mm-hmm.
They did that. They had Mario Kart online. On the Wii. So why didn't they think like, hey, let's try to put these other games online too for people to interact with?
Yeah.
Or are they, is it really that they really just think that, hey, these games, man, they're meant to be played in the room together with people? Was it like an artistic standpoint on it, or was it they just didn't think they have it?
It feels like that's got to be a portion of it, right? Is like, you know, this is more enjoyable if you're sitting next to the person you're playing with and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I think they'll get there.
Yeah.
Trying to look at this because there it is. Okay, so the Super Mario 3D World is available to play online with multiple people.
So only with your friends, though. It's not randoms.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because they're so they're like that. Because Nintendo doesn't want to expose your children.
They're not the only ones with that, though. There's people who have multiplayer, and hey, you don't.
Looking at you, Bungie.
Yeah.
All right, Dominic. So next story up is the continuing trend of talking about Google Stadia for some reason. Google Stadia this week announced that they are bringing a brand new feature to their store. It is a search bar. Why did this search company not have a search bar in their store up until this point, Dominic?
Because they didn't have so many games. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it.
It's just, I mean, how does Google expect anyone to take their platform seriously when the simplest of features...
Take it seriously. The name is Google. What are you talking about?
seriously as a product. I'm sorry. It's called Stadia. Yes. I just I saw that and I was like, I needed to say something about that because that's funny. That is just egregious on a level of ridiculousness. I mean, it's one thing that Epic Store still doesn't have a cart, so you can't check out with multiple items at the same time. But in the grand scheme of things, yeah, it's weird. But in the grand scheme of things, it just means you have to click the button a couple more times. It's not like it doesn't fundamentally make things that much more difficult for you. Whereas like being able to search for a game that you want to buy, it feels like a very, very base level thing that you need in a store if you have, I guess, more than 20 games, which, maybe Stadia just isn't quite there yet. So. Yeah, you make a good point. If you can list all the games on one page, then I guess you don't really need search, right? Just allow me to filter by or sort by name or release date, and I should be able to find everything that I need.
Yeah.
That's really sad. All right, Dominic, best part of my week so far, outside of recording this here podcast, was the state of play for Ratchet and Clank. They had a wonderful 16-minute gameplay demo of that game, and boy, does it look gorgeous. What did you think?
Oh yeah, it looked so good. Like, back in the day, I remember people always say like, man, the graphics of games that got so good, like even the cutscenes are melding with the gameplay. And then when I go back to those same games, I'm like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. It's like, but I understand at the time, the graphics just got so good that you just thought that. But this is exactly that, really.
It really is.
This looks like, you can kind of tell when it is the cutscene. But, if you look at it, though, man, it looks gorgeous. It looks so gorgeous, the gameplay. Like, when I see the cutscene, then I see the gameplay. It's like, it's almost, this is the closest you could probably get to almost seamless. Like, in that look.
Which is crazy, because, like, I was thinking that Ratchet and Clank looked that way on PS3. Like, those games looked incredible to me. I really feel like I need to revisit those and see, like, the jump between these. Because I know they don't look as good as this game. But I remember being blown away by those. Like, oh my goodness, he has fur now.
Ratchet and Clank, I was blown away on PlayStation 2. Like, I played through the whole series since the beginning. I kind of stuttered around PS3 era. PS2, I played all the games. And they were, like, that's why I really won that game. I was into Jak and Daxter. Then I heard, like, the guys who did Spyro is doing another platform. So, let me get that. I was like, yeah, take that, GameCube and Xbox. I say, we got platformers over here, yeah.
I was always jealous.
There we go. Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know what the Xbox had, what platform they had. They had Blinks the Cat.
Yeah, exactly.
So, because I remember seeing when they showed Ratchet and Clank and like just the cities and stuff moving in the background. At that time on the PlayStation 2 era, it was incredible. I was like, oh my God, look at this game. Sometimes I used to just get in first person view and just look around. Just look like, man, this is so nice and colorful and bright. You just shooting shit. And it was awesome. Like all three of those games. And like you said, with the PS3, this is before I picked the Xbox. I was still deciding. I was like, what do I want? Do I want to, basically, I was on the PS3. Like I said I was going to get a PS3, but then they said the price, and that just threw a wrench in everything. Cause I was definitely going from PlayStation 2 to PS3. That was like the goal.
Yeah.
But one of the games I saw was Ratchet and Clank. And I was like, man, this game looked good. This really looks like a cartoon. This really, like somebody said, oh man, this looks like Toy Story level shit. And I was like, oh, it looked good. And I was like, this looks really good. This looks really nice. And I did play a demo. I said, oh, it's all right. And when I did finally play it, I think I borrowed yours. I finally did play it, and it was all right. It was a cool game. And I mean, I did really like it. Like going from PlayStation 2 to that, it's like, yeah, it's a big jump.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And even the PS4, I played a little bit of it, and that looked great. I mean, we saw it. You could see like how they showed the movie cutscenes and then the game. It was like, yeah, this looks really good. This looks all right. Now, I wasn't really impressed with it as much as I was seeing it on the PS3, but it looked great. And I was thinking like, oh, we're going to get more of this, which we are, but I didn't think it was going to be the next damn system, you know, that we was going to get a game. But yeah, them showing that game off, it looked great. I mean, if you didn't look at the comments, man, people are off on YouTube. They just go up there, just to shitstorm anything. That's all they do.
What is there to complain about? Is it because there's a female Lamex now? Boring.
No. They say it's boring, Daniel. They say I saw people with snooze. Like boring. I don't care. Like they look like they wanted something else. Like they wanted some more announcements, and it's like, okay, we got it. It's Ratchet and Clank, and
yeah, they said it was a Ratchet and Clank state of play. What do you want?
These kids, Daniel, they want more. This is nothing to them. This is nothing.
They wanted Bloodborne 2 announced. I guess.
Yeah. Well, probably they did, but no, this game looked great. I mean, I don't want to just talk about the graphics because the gameplay I expected to be there. The gameplay looks like you can wall run, which I'm thinking like, damn, you know what? I guess you never did wall run in Ratchet and Clank, did you? And I guess, hey, I mean, they did Spider-Man, so I guess they could put Spider-Man stuff in here. I don't know. They should have him just climb on walls and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they said how like the seamlessness of the rift, like going to another stage, that they kind of just
was impressive.
Like, what did it say? Like, it's actually like 2 stages or 2 worlds just loading at the same time. Yeah, they're just
like loading into the other part. It's not like these are 2 distinct environments. It's just you're loading the full world that, you know, would have been on a different planet or whatever. So that stuff's cool. All the stuff they were describing with the controller and the adaptive triggers, that stuff sounds awesome. Those explosions, to just jump back to the graphics real quick, the explosions that they were showing off with that one grenade that the female Lombax was throwing, like those things looked incredible. I am excited for that game, even as an owner of not a PlayStation 5 yet. I'm so excited for that game.
Yeah, that game looks awesome. I just have a feeling, man, it's going to be just like how Ratchet and Clank on the PS3 was. Looks so great. Like, that game looks so great, and then lost. Like, you didn't really hear much about it again. Like nobody really talks about, like, they talk about the great games. They don't. Yeah. It's like they rarely mention Ratchet.
They really do,
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, Cracking Time was awesome. Quest for Booty, little side thing. Yeah. Ratchet and Clank, Dominic. Put some damn respect on his name. All right, and some other news, Dominic. We got a rumor going around that IO Interactive, the guys behind Hitman and currently working on the James Bond property, they are making an Xbox game exclusive to the platform that's going to be like a fantasy game with dragons. What? Doesn't seem quite in their wheelhouse, not to pigeonhole them, but okay, I guess.
I didn't know wait a minute. Did we make an announcement that they were working on something exclusive for Xbox?
No. This is the rumor that they're the entire rumor is that they're working on something for Xbox, and also that something that they're working on is a fantasy game. It's all tied together. There wasn't previous rumors of them working on something. Yeah, no, the previous stuff we talked about with them is that they're working on a James Bond game.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to say, I don't know if this rumor's true, then, Daniel. I don't believe that they're working, like, at least they're exclusive anyway. Maybe
they're free,
exclusive.
They're open, they aren't owned by anybody anymore, so.
I guess it could be.
Maybe some of that sweet Microsoft cash is leaking in there, Dominic. Next thing you know, they might get purchased. We don't know.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That's true. Maybe. Oh, so what else we got here?
I got one other one, Dominic. Apparently, not apparently, I saw the statement from Capcom. Capcom has said they will not be attending E3 2021 this year. And by attending, I mean participating in, because there is no physical E3. But they wanted to reassure everyone that they are in deep development on a number of key projects. This is Konami we're talking about, Dominic. What do you think they're actually working on?
What? Yeah, what are they working on? That's what I want to know.
Do they have a Castlevania on the back burner? Do they have a Metal Gear Solid? Are they just making pachinko machines? There was a rumor about
Konami having something I thought I saw, but I didn't really look at it.
I know recently there was
Metal Gear 2.
Oh, okay.
I think that was a rumor of them doing a remake of that. Kind of like they did with Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
With Twin Snakes. Okay, interesting. I just saw that somebody made Metal Gear Solid in Dreams. Like one guy remade Metal Gear Solid in Dreams, and that seems like a crazy man's fucking like a fever dream.
I want to know how many people are really playing Dreams. Because I feel like PlayStation should push that a little bit more.
Definitely. I mean, if people are taking it seriously, then yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's such a cool thing, but Microsoft kind of did that, right? Is like they had their project, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
But they gave up on it so quickly. So I'm honestly a little bit surprised that Sony went through with making Dreams. But then they did, and it seems like a really cool thing, but then they didn't get behind it at all. Like it had its weird soft launch because it came out like in early access first. And then when it came out, nobody was talking about it anymore by then. And now it's just like nobody says anything about it at all.
Yeah, people are still I know people still doing stuff. I mean, people, that's what they do. I mean, they have an audience, but I feel like it could be a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I want to know because, hey, I might pick it up because it might be say, hey, there's a lot of content on this thing. Maybe I want to try that shit.
Yeah.
It's $19.99.
I'm watching a video of this Metal Gear Solid thing, and it looks so funny. Like it's a little bit jank in the way that you would kind of expect a game remade in Dreams to be, but also really kind of cool. So that's neat. But yeah, Konami, I would like to see a new Castlevania game. I kind of also would not necessarily. I want to see it from somebody other than Konami. Like I want to see it from somebody who I think could actually do that franchise some justice, like the people who just made Bloodstained, you know? What do you think?
Oh, you could get it's a free trial to this. I'm on the PlayStation Store. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's $20.
Really? It's only $20 now. Or I guess maybe always. Huh. See, you have things like that come out at $20, Dominic, and then you have other games coming out at $70, and it's really hard to make an argument one way or the other whether something should be this price or that price, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you can argue both sides of it for anything.
Yeah, you could. I just figured, hey, you buy it.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you want it, you buy it. If you don't feel like it's worth it to you, sorry. I was just saying, if you feel like it's worth it to you, it is worth it to you. I mean, it's just a personal thing. Anyway.
Yeah. And that's why, you and I were talking about it, and we can just kind of, we'll save it for when we get to that game. But
okay.
Yeah. Anything else Konami related or anybody else related before we get into PlayStation Plus and Games for Gold for this month?
Oh, I was going to talk about the DICE.
All right, so we got the DICE Awards happened. That's basically developers choosing who did a great job at developing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Actual game makers saying what games are good. So we got a couple.
So wait a minute. So what's the difference
here.
between? Is this just a different than the GDC conference? I mean, like,
I want to say DICE is like British or something for some
okay.
reason. Let me verify that here via the Wikipedia page because I am completely wrong. The DICE Awards, formerly the Interactive Achievement Awards, is an award show in the video game industry. Started in 1998, the awards are arranged by the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences and held during the AIAS annual DICE Summit in Las Vegas. DICE is an acronym, or is a backronym. I guess that means you created it afterwards instead of... Anyway, for Design, Innovative, Communication... Design, Innovate, Communicate, Entertain. Did not know that until this time, Dominic. Unless we've said that in the past and I just forgot it. So yeah, I
ain't never heard the word backronym.
I have not either. Now I'm going to click on it. A backronym is an acronym formed from a word that existed prior to the invention of its backronym.
Okay, let's move on.
I hate that. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the difference between... I mean, I guess it's just different parties, basically, right? Cause
yeah. Just
GDC is GDC, and then, yeah.
It's
anyway,
just
all right. So let's get down into it, Dominic. Some of these awards we got here. Let's see. I'm going to jump around a little bit. Outstanding Achievement in Independent Game. You have Hades as the winner over Coffee Talk, If Found, Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition, and Noita. Really the only one I'm familiar with outside of Hades there is Kentucky Route Zero. I believe I have heard of Coffee Talk as well. Moving on up here, we've got Immersive Reality Technical Achievement. Basically, I would say best VR game, but some of these are not that. So you have Half-Life Alyx as the winner, but you also have Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, Museum of Other Realities, Paper Beast, and Tempest. So yeah, I guess it's more just like technical achievement in like you really feeling into the game. Outstanding technical achievement. Here we go, Dominic. We just talked about it. Dreams beating out Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us Part 2, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's quite a
so Dreams officially came out last year.
I guess. Or they just make up their own rules, you know.
Yeah.
But yes, I want to say like it was early last year that it officially launched. Like right before the COVID times.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I remember it before COVID times, saying this game, like when it's official. Okay.
Yeah. Outstanding achievement in story, you have The Last of Us Part 2.
You probably can just name the winners.
Okay. Well, let's see. Outstanding achievement in audio design, Ghost of Tsushima. Music and composition, we have Ghost of Tsushima. Outstanding achievement in character, Dominic Miles from Spider-Man Miles Morales. Check him out.
Cool.
Yeah. Outstanding achievement in art direction, Ghost of Tsushima.
Wow, Ghost of Tsushima's racking them up. What's going on? Last of Us didn't pay people off or something, man?
We'll get there, Dominic. We'll get there because outstanding achievement in animation goes to The Last of Us Part 2. So coming back here. Online game of the year, you got Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout.
Oh, man, it beat out Among Us?
Among Us is not even on this list. You have Animal Crossing New Horizons, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, Ghost of Tsushima, and Tetris Effect Connected.
Wait a minute. Ghost of Tsushima? I don't even know about the multiplayer in that.
That was when they added like the mythical beasts and stuff like that. They added it after launch. It was something we talked about. And I think there's a co-op aspect to it, but there's also like a multiplayer, not cooperative, competitive kind of thing to it as well. It actually sounded pretty cool, but no one really talked about it much past the launch of it. We're going to skip that one. Immersive reality game of the year. You got Half-Life Alyx. chalking that one up. Strategy simulation game of the year, you have Microsoft Flight Simulator. My words are failing me here. Sports game of the year, Dominic, we have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, validating skateboarders all around the world as a sport. There you go. Yeah. Role-playing game of the year, you got Final Fantasy VII
who else
Remake.
I mean, yeah, I think that will win. That should win.
Yeah, the other ones were MLB The Show, NBA 2K, PGA, and FIFA. So, it sounds right. Role-playing, Final Fantasy VII, beating out Cyberpunk 2077, Yakuza, Persona 5, and Wasteland 3.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's not ridiculous, Dominic. Embrace it. Which one would you have thought to be
Yakuza.
over top of that? Yeah.
What was the other one?
I definitely feel like
not Cyberpunk,
Wasteland
not
3.
Cyberpunk though. But what was the other one?
Wasteland 3 and Persona 5 Royale.
Persona 5, yeah, because that was Persona 5.
Because it's an old, yeah. Yakuza, though, I mean, with how many people have that on their Game of the Year list higher than Final Fantasy, I would not have all been surprised for that to take this over Final Fantasy.
I don't consider that an RPG, man. I don't know how that is.
I guess there's that, too. Best racing game of the year, Dominic. Mario Kart Home Circuit beating out Dirt 5 and F1.
I'm sorry, it's an RPG. I take that back.
You manage stuff. It's definitely an RPG.
I mean, who the fuck did everything's an RPG?
Exactly. All right, fighting game of the year, Dominic. You got Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate Edition. And then you got family game of the year to juxtapose that. Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm a little bit surprised that Astro's Playroom. Well, no, it's Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is the heavy hitter. Adventure game of the year, Ghost of Tsushima, beating out The Last of Us 2, Dominic. Action game of the year, you got Hades.
Yes.
Outstanding achievement in game design, you have Hades.
Yeah.
Outstanding achievement in game direction, you have Hades. And game of the year, Dominic, Hades once again.
Yeah, Hades. Yeah.
Freaking running the board here.
They were quiet. It was quiet, and then they just said, "Rah! I'm coming through."
Pretty much, yeah. Top scores for Hades, so check them out. That's awesome. So, anything else about the Dice Awards, Dominic?
Nah.
All right, we'll get into our PlayStation Plus games for this month. We got Battlefield 5, Stranded Deep, and for the PlayStation 5 exclusively, Wreckfest. And then games for gold, we got Armello, Dungeons, Legends, Lego Batman, the video game, and Tropico 4. Those last two for the 360. So what do you think about this month's game
PlayStation
choice?
5? Yeah, I think we gotta come to the conclusion that games for gold is getting games that are not particularly like flashy because they got Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it is. So yeah, I think I agree with you with that. But PlayStation PS Plus is, which is funny because if you got Game Pass, you got Battlefield 5,
right?
And the Wreckfest, that's a game I see every now and then. I think that is on Game Pass, but I see that every now and then. That was like a free to play weekend game I used to see on Xbox Games for Gold, like weekend games. Stranded Deep, I think I see this game, but I just never pay attention to it.
Same here.
I kind of want to play it. Oh, we didn't talk about, because we talked about Ratchet and Clank, but we didn't talk about the games they showed before Ratchet and Clank during the PlayStation show.
I didn't realize they had. I just came to it afterwards and watched the Ratchet stuff. What'd they show off?
They showed off the Subnautica Below Zero, I think it's called, or something like that.
Yep.
And that they really expanded Subnautica. Like, there's people talking and everything now.
Oh wow!
Like, that is not what I thought it was. I really just thought like, oh, it's probably like this little add-on to the game. No, it's a PS5 upgrade. with that. I mean, it's coming to PS5. So if you got it on, and Subnautica's PS5 upgrade. So if you bought Subnautica on PS4, you get the PS5 version free.
Nice.
So that's good. What's the other game they showed off? Oh, the Among Us one. The Among Us thing. That was it. But yeah, so Stranded Deep, it just made me back to like Subnautica a little bit, but I know it's different. I kind of just want to check it out. Is that a horror game?
It's a survival game.
Oh, never mind then. I don't really care about survival. Well, no, it's an outcome of survival. I think it has to be, you know what? I don't mind survival games if it has an interesting atmosphere to it. Like it, because with Subnautica, I like looking at the deep water, you know, and just seeing all these animals and creatures down there, and the world, like just a different world down there, like in underwater. It's like really mysterious. That I like it. So maybe that can bring something to it. I don't know. I have to look it up.
Yeah.
What you think of these games?
I think it's like you said. Some of these are just like, it almost feels like Armello. I guess we must have got that on the PlayStation already, because I feel like that's already been a game. I feel like we've had Lego DC superheroes or one of the Lego Batman type games. I think we had one. Yeah.
Not one. I mean two. This is one. Yeah, two is I think we got.
It really feels like the Games for Gold stuff is pulling from a very limited pool. And PS5, like, nothing here is like standout necessarily, but Battlefield is a big game, even though it's a little bit on the old side now, I guess. And Wreckfest seems like a cool thing, but like you said, it's kind of been around places. And Stranded Deep, I wasn't really familiar with, but it does look interesting. I mean, it's a survival game, so I don't know that I would spend much time in it. But the vibe of it is neat, like you're stranded on a desert island kind of thing and doing that, whereas a lot of times it's more like, oh, I'm stranded in the woods or this, that, or the other thing. So there's definitely some variety to it. I'm not blown away by this selection, but I'm also... I'm still content with, you know, I'm paying for, you know, Game Pass or whatever, and I'm still getting, you know, all these games for free. Or like PlayStation Plus, the price of it right now is so small relatively in comparison to like a Game Pass or whatever, to get whatever games they give me for free to kind of give them a try, especially something if it's new and I wouldn't otherwise try it out. Like, I'm all for it. It's almost like one of those subscription box things where it's like, here, I'm going to give you, you know, $15 a month and you're going to send me a box of weird candies from Japan or something like that, where it's like, I don't necessarily know what I'm getting, but it'll be interesting to try it out, kind of thing. That's kind of how I feel about PlayStation Plus at this point. So, yeah. All right, Dominic, anything before we get into new releases?
No. Let's get right to it.
New releases, Dominic. MLB The Show 21, as you mentioned it, out now on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and it's still weird to say Xbox One and Xbox Series X. So you can check those out there, and it's part of Game Pass on the Xbox family of consoles. So very cool on that. You got MotoGP 21 out now on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Stadia. So if you want to get your motorbiking on, you can check that out there. Scourgebringer, Dominic, is now out on the PS4 and PlayStation Vita. It is time to break those Vitas out, plug them back in, get them charged up, play some Scourgebringer, as you have previously recommended. That game.
Oh, we forgot to talk about that PlayStation reverse them taking down the storefront on the PS3.
I knew there was something big. Vita. Son of a bitch. Why does it feel like some of this news gets lost on like the sites? Even if I go back all 2 weeks. Yes, Sony did reverse course, and now they are still shutting down the store on the PSP, but no longer shutting down the store on the Vita currently and the PlayStation 3. So your voice has been heard, Dominic. Gamers rise up.
I didn't yell hard enough for the PSP one though.
No.
They heard me when I said I broke mine. They said, "Oh, he didn't care."
He's not buying any games anyway. He doesn't. Exactly. Yeah. So this is in my opinion, this is good because it helps to preserve video games, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing about this is
exactly.
Some of those games could essentially disappear because that store is no longer available. And sure, there are probably hundreds of thousands of people around the world that have downloaded a lot of these games, and in some way you can find them by buying someone's used PlayStation in their account or something like that. But the reality of it is, making it easier for people to get these old games leads to less piracy. I mean, that's if I'm a business and I'm thinking about why I would want to do that, the potential for me to make a few dollars off the store versus someone absolutely stealing my thing because it's just no longer available. Like, yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I want to say that I find it funny, though. I mean, like with the PlayStation reversing, yeah, this is good news. But when Xbox reversed their decision on raising the price of the not raising the price, they were getting rid of gold. That's what it was. They were getting rid of something, and it was just going to be ultimate or something like that. Then they reversed it. How'd it go?
How did that work out? That was shit. I'm completely blanking on that. It was like they were raising the price on gold. Yeah, they were raising the price on gold because they were essentially, or at least to us, it seemed like they were trying to push people off of gold and into
that's what
an ultimate subscription. And then they reversed that. And then that's when they also announced, hey, we're going to make like some of these free to play games actually free to play, and you don't have to have gold for it anymore.
And I remember seeing people when they reversed it, they were just saying like, "Oh, you should have that's something they should have never done anyway." And I was like, "Wait a minute!" But then when the PlayStation is all praising them, I say, y'all some biased motherfuckers. You know that? You're some biased motherfuckers. It's like y'all are really just like if you're gonna harp on them for reversing. I mean, shit, that's what I was saying. Like, oh, this is good. The Xbox, they listen to us. That's good.
Yeah.
But people just harping over and say, oh, they should have never done it anyway. And then with this, I saw comments, people just praising. So, oh, good. Hey, this is great. That Sony listened to us. I said, you didn't say that for Xbox, though. You bastards, because y'all just freaking Sony boys. Oh, y'all was just Sony boys.
Yeah. So it's good that we're making progress towards maybe some more consumer-friendly decisions here.
Exactly. And I'm glad that they're listening to some of the consumers, too. All right, so what's new releases, right?
All right, new releases, yes. We talked about that. Shantae, the original, the Game Boy Color one, is now out on the Nintendo Switch, now making it official that you can play all of the Shantae titles on the Nintendo Switch.
Does that boost jiggle on that one, too?
I don't know about
they didn't have the processing power for that.
I think her hips still swivel at least. So
not a hips.
You got a little bit of that. Hips don't lie, Dominic. Hips don't lie. All right. We also have Judgment, the upgrades for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X now out, as well as the Google Stadia version. So check that out. If you got a Google Stadia, you can just type that into your search box, find Judgment, and then you can buy it. Also out now is Nier Replicant version 1.22474.
Don't you dare. You son of a bitch. Read that down those damn numbers. It's ridiculous.
Now out on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. You're right. I should round it. So it should be 1.22. Although actually it's 7 after the 4, so that should round up to 5. So it should be 1.23. I see what they did there. Say 1, 2, 3. Got it. Anyway, Nier Replicant, Dominic, what do you think? Is someone that was maybe more interested than I was in Nier
Automata. Yeah.
Yes. Are you interested in this?
Automata, or whatever the hell they pronounce it. But
Automagical.
So I want to play Nier Automata some more on the PC now.
They have that Game Pass one.
Yeah, it's a Game Pass one, and then I can use cheats and hurt me fucking get through it. So that's really, I do want to get back into that though. So maybe one day I'll get there. Actually, now I should. It's a new month, and I want to get back into the fray. I'm not gonna help my friend anymore. I'm like, nah, you ain't gonna help anymore. I'm gonna beat your ass. Yeah, so I'm getting back. Yeah. Because now I'm going to compete with my friend now. It's like, you know what? But it's not going to be much competing, though.
You created your own villain.
I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. Because he would never get as far as he did without me. So, yeah.
Man, I think we just saw Dominic become the villain.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm the villain now.
I created you. You're only as big as me because of us.
I broke Kermit. I'm thinking Kermit's going to get back. I was like, this is my birthday month, man. Hell no.
Yeah.
You ain't, you're staying down.
Not taking this from me.
You try to take Black History Month, they ain't taking though. I stopped them.
Man. All right, Dominic. We got Genshin Impact that's now out on the PS5. Check that out there.
Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, PS5. Okay, PS5 version.
PS5.
I was about to say, it was like it's already on PlayStation.
Yep. Upgraded version. We also have Total War Rome remastered out on the PC.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to get your Total War on here.
Now I can't play it. It's just too much power.
You can only play the original one. That's all my computer can stand. All right. We also got new Pokemon Snap out on the Nintendo Switch, Dominic.
So that's what it's called. It's new Pokemon Snap.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
They're so creative, aren't they?
Yeah.
And did you see that there's a little printer that you can hook up to your phone too and print out little Polaroid style things of your Pokemon?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think it's like $100 though. So,
okay.
And then like packs of film come in like 15s or 5s or something, and are more expensive than they should be.
That's why you got digital, you sons of bitches.
Yes, I just share all my pictures on Instagram. Man. Maybe I'm going to invest in this game, Dominic. I'm going to invest in Pokemon Snap, and then I'm going to start an Instagram account for my Pokemon Safari. I've got this thought out now, Dominic. I'm doing it. Yeah. All right, and then we have Returnal on the PS5. Big exclusive for them. I'm hearing some positive things about that game. What do you think?
No, yeah, I'm hearing great reviews for this game. So that's great that one of the big exclusives to PS5 has gotten another great review. So, yeah, I mean, you look at the exclusives, like with PS5, I mean, they've been pretty good. I mean, going back to the Demon Souls remake.
Demon Souls, Astro's Playroom, Miles Morales, all that stuff was hitting pretty well.
So, even, I mean, I don't know. I think, how did that Battle Arena card game, what was it called? All-Stars?
Destruction All-Stars, yeah.
I think I got an average, pretty average scores, but it's free. So it's like, what the hell?
Exactly.
But that's so, they're doing, you got some games. You got some games and some variety. You got Ratchet and Clank coming out too.
Yeah. And it's definitely a variety because, like, I was telling you earlier, I didn't really know that this was a roguelike until relatively recently, and that's kind of what a lot of the talk around this has been recently because it's a $70 game, and there's a lot of, kind of hemming and hawing about it being a $70 game because it's, I think part of it is because it's a roguelike. I mean, a lot of it is probably because it's a roguelike because it does
definitely
look like a AAA style game. It's very graphically gorgeous. I think it looks very good. But that aspect of it does make people wonder if it's worth a quote unquote full price, especially when you see games like Hades winning fucking DICE awards all over the place in a similar genre, you know, and obviously a different art style, but beautiful in its own way, coming out at like $25. And you kind of, I don't know if that's, you know, where I'm at. But it's like you and I were discussing before we started recording the podcast. What I think it's more about is people just not knowing what Returnal is. And that's why you need demos out there to get people familiar with it and go, oh yeah, I do enjoy this game a lot. And if there's a substantial amount of it after this that I will continue to enjoy, then it will be worth $70 to me, maybe not someone else, you know? And that's, I really wish we would get back to the point where we're getting demos in relatively regular fashion from these games.
Yeah, because it's, man, that is a hard pill to swallow. Like I gotta take a chance on this. I gotta take a chance on this game for $70, and if I don't like it, and sometimes, you know, especially video games, I mean, you got the 2-hour window, I believe, that you might can give it back digitally anyway. If you get it digital, you got a chance to get a refund. But some games, it takes time. 2 hours may not be enough to say this game is worth it. Like with the demo, you can play it multiple times. You really can get a feel for it. Like you can get a feel like, okay, I can take a chance on this. 2 hours, like 2 hours time limit, you know, you're starting from the beginning. Like once you play 2 hours from when you play it, and you know, you got cutscenes, you got also the tutorial, you got all this stuff that takes up that time to really learn the game. That, like, some things you can really figure out that, yeah, I can give it back for a refund. Like, if the game is broken, that's what most of the time you do is for game broken. If, like, something else, like something slow starter, you don't know. It could be you get good later on. So he's like, I'll play a little bit more. But then it just falls flat, and it's like, I can't return it. I already got it. And that's not I know I guess the 2 hour window. I think that's still a good window. It's just that's why you still need demos. I think that's what it is.
But there's also the perception of, like, if you do use it like that you're abusing the system in some way, right? Like, if I download the game and play it for 2 hours, but then refund it and do that relatively constantly, like, people are going to be like, oh, you're abusing the system. That's not the way this was intended. It's for, like you said, broken games or something like that. And it's like, well, you don't give me any other option. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to pirate it? I could do that instead. But I'm not sure that I want to pay $70 for this game yet. And, you know, you aren't giving me a way to find out whether I do want to or not. Or I think especially it's important to have demos in this day and age because, one, a demo on the PC will allow you to see if your PC is going to be able to handle it. And it's also important in a similar fashion on the consoles now because, as you said, MLB The Show doesn't run that great on the Xbox. Now, in this case, we have Game Pass, which is, in a way, allows you to function like a demo, but you're going to see that a lot, right? You're going to see games releasing on both generations, and maybe the older generation just doesn't hold up. This Cyberpunk is obviously the best example of that. I just really wish we could get back to normalizing demos. I thought Microsoft was doing a fantastic job of that during the Xbox 360 time, you know, especially with the Xbox Live Arcade stuff. But you would still see a lot of demos for other games, and it really just disappeared when we got to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, and that's disappointing.
All right, so I guess that's it.
Yeah.
This was a long one.
Yep. Anything else for the week, Dominic?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStallworth5. I'm at RegulusMB. The podcast is at SupaPod, SupaPod.
SupaPod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast with gameplay underneath of the audio, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify. And until next time, guys, we'll see you later.
All right, see ya.